Dun. Go to languages.
Game over.
And what is up? Welcome back. It is 2025 Sunday, and you're here with the Average Boys Podcast. First episode of the year, new me on the treadmill, joining Planet Fitness. You know how it goes, guys. How's it going? I hope everybody out there is doing good. Anybody that's out there that's watching the stream, I appreciate you guys. Want to give a shout out to Savage Bunch of Gamers. Yesterday we were on Twitch. I got to hang out with my boy Moldrick, and he hooked us up and he got people to join our Twitch, and we got us up to 50, and I really appreciate you guys. So anybody that's out there in the Twitch land, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you. Everybody that I got to hang out with was super, super fun on the stream. And yeah, we're into 2025. It's a whole new year. A lot of great things are going to happen. I know everybody out there is going to be pushing for like the whole, New Year's resolution and New Year's stuff. I know, 2025 started off super fast already with some crazy stuff. Of course, we'll have the changing of the presidential stuff that's going to be happening within the next month. We had a crazy situation happened in New Orleans, and we had the crazy situation happen in Vegas. I had a good friend of mine, Gilbert Urbina, part of the UFC, hit me up, and he was like, yeah, dude, this shit's crazy, man. So I hope you guys are all out there being safe, and you guys issued in the new year safely, and everyone in your family is good. Everyone did really well. For us, ourselves, we got to have a very, very chilled New Year's. We got to barbecue, just me, Alex, and my friend, my best friend, well, my two best friends, man, Alex and Cece's, Christella. So got to barbecue for them, got to feed my friends. In my opinion, I think being able to feed my friends is like my love language to appreciate the people in my life. So anytime I get to cook for them, I know I'm not like some like great cook either. I'm like fucking microwavable friendly kind of guy. But anytime I get to barbecue for my friends, I feel like I am doing them honor and feeding them and keeping them healthy. So it was really, really nice. It was really, really good. What did you guys get to do on New Year's? Let me know in the comment section so that way I can chat with you guys and stuff like that. We got some interesting stuff that we're going to be talking about today, of course. We got James Gunn. He got the opportunity to do some early viewing for the Superman film, and we got some reviews in from people that are saying, it was kind of a mixed kind of review thing for a bit. We're going to talk about that. Of course, Triggs is going to be coming in a little bit later. Brian, I think, is going to be busy tonight, so I don't think he'll be able to make it, but he's good. He's healthy. He's safe. He's just got some stuff he needs to take care of. We're going to be talking about also, I know a lot of people, of course, with Deadpool and Wolverine, there was this real big talk about Chris Evans when he came back, and he repraised his role as Johnny Storm. Of course, in the comic books, and of course in anything Marvel, if you know, Deadpool himself is a really big Captain America fan. Like, I'm not talking about like he just thinks he's cool or whatever, but like he really looks up to Captain America in the comic books. Like, he does whatever Captain says. Like, whatever Captain America tells him to do, like, he knows that's like the living word of like, you know, Jesus or whatever. So to see Chris Evans in the Deadpool movie and to reprise his role as the Human Torch was really, really funny. But of course, you saw Deadpool, how he was responding to him, thinking that it was Captain America, and he's being like really out of pocket. With that was the new contract, which a lot of people didn't know about Chris Evans and coming back to Marvel and the kind of stuff that he was putting out there. So we're going to be talking about, of course, the cut film that was supposed to be starring Captain America. We're also going to be talking about the Kang script. I had one of my good friends, George, hit me up earlier and sent me a really cool video explaining what Marvel had wanting to be doing with Kang the Conqueror's script. So he sent it to me. Someone kind of like the whistleblower for Captain America or for Kang kind of put it out there, let everybody know what was going on with it. And yeah, we're going to be talking about some of the stuff that they were going to do and what it is we're going to be going into for this year for Marvel, because by the end of the year, believe it or not, I think it, you know, we were just talking about this last night on the stream on Twitch with the guys from Savage Bunch of Gamers. In a year's time, we might get a trailer for the Avengers 5 movie, which is going to be what is it? It's the Doomsday War movie. We're probably going to get a trailer for that at the ending of 2025, which kind of begs the question, like, are we ready? Like, is Marvel ready to be at that stage with those characters? I would like to clarify, Lobo. What's up, Derpy? Good to have you, my man. But yeah, we were just talking about this last night on the Muldrick's stream on Twitch, right? Which is a Savage Bunch of Gamers. Where we were talking about by the ending of this year, the Robert Downey Jr. Marvel film that's supposed to be the biggest hype train that Marvel has had this year is going to be filming within like the next couple of months, which means by the ending of 2025, like I was saying, we should be technically getting a Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom, Evil Avengers / Secret Wars / beginning of it all ending for the Marvel universe. And, the boys and I here on the podcast, we've been talking about it for, geez, I feel like we talk about it every weekend. Like, how ready is Marvel to be on their Infinity War and Endgame films already? Because for me, myself, and some of the guys, even in the comment section and stuff, and people that come in the show, like, we don't really believe that Marvel is at that level or at that range to be like, oh, here we go, guys, the last 2 movies that we're going to be pumping out for this phase or whatever. Because phase 4, of course, was geez, man, it was messy. It was a mess. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about that, of course, and we're gonna, of course, be doing our recap. Jason Momoa, of course, like Derpy said in the comment section, we're gonna be talking about Momoa's Lobo DC casting. What did that mean? Where is he gonna be coming into? What does that mean for what it did for the Snyderverse and the character that he's bringing in and whatnot? And some of the speculations that we have about the DC films coming up, of course. With that, a recap of Creature Commandos. They dropped a really interesting episode this past week about Dr. Phosphorus, and we're going to recap that show. I know a lot of people probably aren't watching it. Maybe a couple of people in the comment sections that we have here are checking out Creature Commandos DC on HBO Max, but I don't know a lot of people that just have HBO Max in general that just have it as a streaming service. So maybe a lot of people are missing out on it and waiting for it on Fire Stick or whatever. So that one, Creature Commandos. And yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to be talking about. How about you guys? Anybody that's out there in the comment section that's watching, how was your guys' New Year's? What did you guys do to celebrate? Let me know in the comment section what you guys did, what you guys did to initiate 2025, and what your, I don't want to say New Year's resolution, because everybody's going to be like, oh, I'm going to join the gym and lose 20 pounds or whatever the fuck, and then they fail or whatever. But what is your guys' thing for 2025? What are you guys going to be goaling for that in this coming 2025? Let me know in the comment section. Let me jump in and see what's up. What's up, Chris? What's up, Chrissy? Good to see you in the comment section. Really appreciate you. Derpy and you in the comments, since you guys are here right now. Tell me what you guys have been doing for 2025. What's your guys' New Year's resolution? What are you guys excited for? And yeah, what kind of crazy nerd news did you guys happen? Yo, I am not going to lie. I know it's not really something that we talk about, but the crazy stuff that's been going around. I know, of course, like we had the 2 incidences, probably more incidences. I just don't really watch the news enough. I haven't really been online too much, but they had the 2 incidences that happened after 2025, right? The New Year's, which was the the New Orleans situation, which they every day is just like they just keep dropping. But the fucking one that's crazy is the Trump Cybertruck bomb thing that happened, right? Like every day it gets weirder. Like I saw literally that apparently this guy was on a reality show with UFC fighter Tim Kennedy, who is kind of like a prominent spokesperson in the media for, of course, military and helping like communities out with like special forces groups and things like that, and being like a military advisor for a lot of different like news like networks and stuff. But apparently these guys were like in a fucking the guy who blew up the Tesla truck or whatever, because it gets fucking weirder than that if you have been watching this stuff. That guy was like on a reality show about special units or special military units that were competing against other people in other countries. They're special units, right? They're Delta forces or they're Marine recons or whatever it is that they do, right? They were in a show with he was in a show with Tim Kennedy, and Tim Kennedy knew him on a personal level and whatnot, and kind of was like speaking about him and you know his character and all this other stuff. So it was just so crazy to see that guy had like knowing that he did something so crazy, right? So heinous and evil, but that he was like in some kind of like you know, in some kind of like a television show or prominent on the internet in such a bigger way than normal. Like, man, it's so crazy. But yeah, I haven't really been online too much. I don't want to dwell in all of this like mishaps and stuff like that. I kind of feel like it was gonna happen. But yeah, it was just like I think the Tesla truck one is like super conspiracy concepts, man. A lot of stuff, a lot of crazy things. But yeah, I'd like to get your guys' ideas on it. Like, what did you guys think of the situation? I mean, I know it's horrible and stuff, but yeah, if you guys have like an opinion on it or some kind of weird conspiracy theory, let me know, man, because I'm all about conspiracies. Yeah, but other than that, yeah, New Year's was good. Barbecue did my valley thing and had a good time. Had a good time. Really excited to see and be back on the show here with you guys. So yeah, I guess we can kind of jump right into it real quick, or just start jumping into things, right? So one of the things that caught me really crazy this past week was apparently someone from or that used to work in Marvel had leaked or released one of the official scripts and concepts for the Kang the Conqueror story. Which, I mean, during that time, the Jonathan Majors situation thing had popped off. You know, before it got released and we got the Quantum Mania film, a lot of us weren't really. Let me bring up a thing so that way you guys can at least know what I'm talking about. Kang Quantum Mania. I'll just get up a picture just so you guys can remember who we're talking about. Ooh, that looks cool. Open image and new, and let me share it up real quick, just so we're caught up and we have at least a window. What? Yeah, here we go. So we got Kang the Conqueror here in the picture, just to kind of, yo, what's up, Ham? Good to see you, my dude. Just you're talking about normal stuff. How did it go yesterday with your guys' gaming tournament? Let me know in the comment section, bro. Quantum Mania. This is the last time that we got to see any iteration of Jonathan Majors' Kang the Conqueror, and you know, he did a phenomenal job. Him as Kang the Conqueror, he did good. Quantum Mania was not really like it wasn't taken in as a good film. Jonathan Majors himself, as the actor, did very well. He's a very talented individual. Of course, we all remember what happened. He was taken to court by an ex-girlfriend. There was videos going around of like their confrontation between each other. It got really dicey. Marvel had to distance themselves as a company so they weren't going to get dragged down with him, since he was going to be the official face of the new Marvel villain universe that was going to be happening during the phase 4, phase 5, and phase 6 going into it. And then vice versa into the biggest, you know, the Thanos storyline or whatever. They really had him as the face of it. And of course, at the end of Quantumania, we were introduced to the Council of Kangs, which you were going to have a just a plethora of different variations of Jonathan Major, him pushing himself to his limits when it comes to his acting prowess and his range and stuff. So there was a lot of stuff that was going on during that time. Of course, when watching the film, if you guys haven't seen it and whatnot, Kang gets pushed into the multiversal engine, which is this thing he creates that draws power from the multiverse. He gets thrown into it by Ant-Man. He gets tanked by Ant-Man, which I don't know how this dude is supposed to be like the major villain, and then he's getting beat by a dude that can just get bigger or smaller, which is crazy. Yeah, he gets thrown into the multiversal engine, and it's supposed to be like a very quantum leap. It was supposed to be like a very quantum leap type of show or film that they were going to do with his character, where he was constantly like rummaging through memories in his life that were going on almost instantaneously at the moment that he was doing it. So like at the very beginning, he was supposed to be like walking through a field, touching grass, or I don't know, some weird like Gen Z shit. Where he was supposed to meet up with the love interest of his character, Ramona Renslayer, and they were supposed to have a child. But in that moment when he's walking to her, and I think this is the way they were going to do the film, is like every step that he's taking to get to the woman that he loves and the child that he has in the future, there are things that are happening that are going back in time with every step, which I think that would have been really fucking cool. Because apparently he was going to jump right back into him being torn apart by the multiversal engine and stretched and minimized and losing the concept of just reality and being torn through the multiverse. And then it was going to be him versus the Avengers. And then it was going to be him fighting Ant-Man like over and over again, just these different. And like, that's the thing about multiverse stuff and time travel is in comic books and in films. When someone introduces this, I'm really big on this shit too. Like, I hate it when you're watching, like, let's say you're seeing The Boys, or you're watching Invincible, or you're watching a Marvel movie or a DC movie. The moment time travel is introduced, and even multiverse, it cheapens the results of what happens that can be detrimental to a story, like valued items, right? Like we had, I don't know how you all felt, but when Tony Stark, Iron Man, dies at the end of Infinity War, I got choked up, right? Watching this film. Like I got torn up because I was like, damn, like that was a great ending to a great character. And I was all about it. I thought it was really, really cool and stuff like that. But the moment that like, oh, we're going to do the multiverse and all that stuff, I was like, well, fuck, they're just going to bring him back. Like it doesn't matter if he dies in this way. They're just going to find a way to bring him back. And I had a little bit of hope on the way that they handled Black Widow's character, where they were like, even though they did it with Gamora differently, with Black Widow's character, you had this situation where it was like all the heroes are together talking about her life and her family not having, they were her family. And the Hulk comes back, throws the bench across the water, and he says, I did everything I could. And mind you, Bruce Banner's a smart guy. He understands it a little bit better than most of the characters, the multiverse and how it works. He was like, I reached across and I tried to get her and I just couldn't. It wouldn't let me. She just doesn't exist, blah, blah, blah. Like there's no way to bring them back. Even though Gamora died in the same factor, the exact same way, minus the fact that she was thrown in, she didn't sacrifice herself. When Nebula just goes back in time to like the 1990s when what's his face Peter Quill is just dancing going after the first gem, and they were able to pull her out of history, and boom, you have a Gamora. And you were able to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with a love interest Gamora that's not Gamora, the original one. So like there's no love interest between him and Peter Quill, or her and Peter Quill. Like, so in that style, you could have technically brought back Black Widow an hour before she went to Vormir and just told her, hey, I'm from the future. You did it. You did it. Everything is fine. I just don't know what would happen, because technically in their universe, unless again, it doesn't really explain it. This is why time travel sucks. But the idea of being that you can dissect the story, or you go into like a character dissection with a character like Kang and really break down this very poetic gladiator style movie of a guy that's constantly stuck in time. I think a lot of like Asian films, like Korean films, have done this where they do like some kind of like crazy, like a person is going through time finding love and all this stuff. And some movies have done it very, very well. And I think Marvel could have done something very fascinating with Kang. His comic book character, even that is kind of convoluted. There's still like a lot of places where like Kang the Conqueror really hasn't been like really stapled into what he can and can't do. And then, there is a couple where he does okay with in some of the stories. Of course, like the Young Avengers story was really good with Kang the Conqueror and stuff. Um, but yeah, like I think it would have been a really great story. Of course, like Marvel now has to tippy toe on what they're gonna do. Jonathan Majors, of course, has been released from the trial. All his stuff has kind of like been taken down. So now he is back to normal. He can work with Marvel as Kang the Conqueror. He can go back into film. I think a lot of people are tiptoeing around it. And and yeah, like it'll just take time. I wonder. I'm more than likely they're gonna have to bring him back to if they're gonna kill off Kang the which they can't kill off Kang the Conqueror, can they? If they're gonna do something with him. But again, I was never a big fan of Kang the Conqueror to begin with. I think he's a really bad villain. I don't think he's good enough for the films. I think he's kind of just bad. But Jonathan Majors surprises me. He's a good actor. Chrissy in the comments section says, "Well, technically, Guardians of the Galaxies would have been completely different since Gamora was never there in the first place. But no one said anything when Guardians of the Galaxy. No, that's true. That's absolutely correct. I think you're right on the button. The concept of Gamora. Well, but the thing is like it just never explains how Vormir removes these people like from the concept of reality. Wait, you got home. How you doing,
What's
brother? Can
up,
you hear
dude?
me?
Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Cool.
What you got? What you got, baby? What you got? So right now, what we're talking about is this past week, a whistleblower from Marvel that was working on the Kang storyline released like one of the scripts, and it was pretty cool in the sense of like what they were going to do with his character. I was saying that in the concept of it, what it sounded like is it was supposed to be him at the ending of time with Ramona Renslayer and his child that they have, and he's kind of like walking towards her. But it seems like the way Marvel was going to do it is that every step that he was walking towards her, it was like a different thing was happening in the timeline with him. And he was experiencing all these timelines hitting him at once while he was walking to her to get his ending. That's Georgie. Georgie's the one that sent it to me, man. So what do you think of this? So like the idea was he's approaching Ramona Renslayer with the baby at the ending of time. But like one of the first things that happens to him is it goes back to Quantum Mania, him being thrown into the multiversal engine, him being like stretched and expanded and sent like into like the smaller dimension, losing the concept of reality, being forced to see different multiverses through the quantum realm, and then below than that, until finally he reaches what they were going to call the Beyond verse, which I'm guessing is where they were going to get like the Beyonders powers or whatever for his character, right?
Yeah. That must be a super early draft because all of that sounds fucking stupid.
Really? Well, I think okay. So, what do you think would have been a good thing for Kang the Conqueror if we were to approach
Okay.
this?
Well, honestly, like I would have, because like to me, that eliminates in its entirety the need for the Council of Kings. Like they're completely irrelevant. If like
Yeah.
your story revolves around him being at the end of time and somehow or another you're trying to incorporate the Council of
The
Kings
council.
behind all of that. Like, yeah, dude, like, okay. And on top of that, like you're with Ramona Renslayer.
Mhm.
Okay, but like she's in the TVA. Like her like storyline is already kind of like confuddled because of the whole Loki thing.
Yep.
So like there, yeah, dude, like Tom Hiddleston will have to be a very big part, like to me in that movie because like just of who he is right now in the TV show,
Hmm.
there's a lot of like squares to circle.
Oh, dude,
And
100%.
like that, yeah, that must be like the roughest draft of like, okay, this is kind of where we want to end up. Okay, well, like, what about your movies in between all that? Yeah. Details. This is where we want to end up. What? No, like, give me your plan, bro. What's the whole plan? Uh, I don't know.
Well, well,
And
even crazier than that, right? Like, apparently, they're already going to get started within a couple of months with the Avengers Doom story, right? Doomsday story. Like in a couple of months, which means by the end of 2025, we could technically be getting a trailer for the second to the last film of this phase, which would be our next Thanos phase, right? Do you think it's even like? Do you think we're even there to approach that?
fuck no, dude. We're nowhere near. Fuck no, dude. We're nowhere near the like being like anywhere near ready for a trailer for anything regarding Doom.
Dude,
Anything
that's a good
regarding
point.
Doom.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
dude, you're gonna tell me you're gonna give me a fucking trailer to Doom, and the fucking Fantastic Four movie hasn't even gotten a trailer yet? Fuck you.
Right?
Fuck you, dude. No. Fuck you, Marvel. Fuck you, whistleblower. You're Cap, dude. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Cap, dude. That's so funny. But yeah, apparently,
Yeah.
we're looking at maybe a couple more months before they start the filming of Doomsday. And I'm trying to
And
get
yet
it to
again, like
where
that makes no sense. Like, dude, they haven't even finished wrapping filming on fucking Fantastic Four.
I know.
Like, no, whoever's saying this is obviously full of shit.
So
Like,
Marvel, this is on right now. I have this on Max Blitz, which is just a website, but they're saying Marvel
you know what,
Avengers
dude? I'm
Doomsday.
gonna go start a fucking Twitter account, and I'm gonna leak this to you, and I'm gonna see if you fucking like follow it.
And follow it, right?
That's crap, dude. That is such bullshit.
Marvel Avengers Doomsday's production date has been confirmed. Filming is scheduled to begin in late March 2025 in London, UK, and wrap August 2025. So they're gonna fucking make this movie Doomsday in
Isn't that
like
movie supposed
6
to come
months,
out in
bro.
like 2-3 years anyway?
6 months, dude.
Yeah, dude. What are you fucking high? What the fuck is that guy on, dude? Like, does
The
he think
update
this
from
is a fucking
Production
college,
Weekly
like a
includes a list
fucking
of the
college,
cast.
like, some sort of video entry to, to
College
like Juilliard?
journalism.
Yeah, what the fuck is this? Shut the fuck up, guy. You don't know what you're
Well, this
talking
came from
about.
Production Weekly. He's just listing it, right? And it includes the cast of Robert Downey Jr., Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, Evan Moss, Arachi, Tom Holland, Sebastian Stan, which is cool. He's just an eye of Thunderbolts. Okay, that's good. That's good. Lord Jr., God bless him. It's fun. Had a great Anthony Mackie, Benedict Cumberbatch, Haley Atwell, Peggy Carter. What the fuck? Anna
Yeah,
Annie de
yeah,
Almas.
no.
Okay,
You know what, dude? I'm just gonna say Anna de Armas is fucking ballerina. Might as well just throw in John Wick in there.
right.
Let's get some
Wait, who
Indiana
does Anna
Jones.
de Almas play?
She's playing the okay, so if you remember the third John Wick movie, there's a ballerina who's like
No,
dancing.
I know. Like I
And
get
well,
that. Oh, okay.
she's playing her
And it's
character.
answering my question too. I just went past, and it was like so. This is in the same article. So Ana de Almas is casted as an undisclosed role. And Olsen is reprising her role as Scarlet Witch, as we reported earlier. Scarlet Witch and Doctor Doom will pair up, and Wanda's focusing on redeeming herself. Really? Yeah, redeem herself with Doctor Doom. Sure, buddy. Trying to undo her mistakes with the
I
Darkhold.
love how they have the entire fucking subplot, but neither Kevin Feige, the Russo brothers, no one has said this, but this guy has the
Well,
entire fucking synopsis.
okay. So without the synopsis part, right? Because I know what you. I know. I agree. I 100% agree with what you're saying. There is a slate for the Avengers Doomsday, like the actual like slate
Yeah,
for it.
no, and that I get. Like,
Yeah.
but that also making my point. You're gonna tell me that we're going to get production started on a fucking movie that hasn't even had its prequel movie wrapped yet.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude. That's real crazy.
Like,
Because, like, okay, so this is supposed to film, okay, by what it's saying, March to August, right? So we're supposed to get the Fantastic Four, first steps, release date, July 25th, like 2 months before this thing wraps up for that film. Which, of course, then they got to take it to the editorial room. Still going to take time for them to, make the rest of the film and edit it, catch it
yeah,
up after
which
they
I
do it.
get, you know, and you know
Yeah.
what, dude? Like, I'll say this: let's add an additional, let's say, 3 months for reshoots,
Hmm.
right?
Okay.
You know, and maybe like an additional 6 to 7 months for CGI and
Hmm.
and post and all of that. You know, like plus, like during all of that, we need to do marketing in all of that for both of these films, for all of these films. You know,
Hmm.
and I I'm not saying that it's not doable. I'm just saying that's very ambitious.
Yeah, it's very, very ambitious. Oh, that's a good way to put it. In the comment sections, George, of course, George is the one who sent me this in the first place, which thank you, George. It was super interesting to listen to. Um, he says, man, they haven't even introduced Miles Morales in the MCU yet.
Yeah, but honestly, like for everyone who's thinking that like Miles is like the next thing, guys, pump the brakes yet. Like we kind of have to finish off with Tom Holland's before we get even like the fart sniff of a fucking Miles Morales.
The hate
Like,
breaks Thanos.
yeah, yeah, like I get it. Everyone's like, oh, let's get Miles in there. Okay, well, chill. We got to
So,
finish Tom Holland.
I was watching, I don't know, there was like, of course, other YouTubers, Den of Nerds, the Cosmic Wonder, like a lot of the cool guys, right? The ones that we kind of like, we look up to, they do cool things. We would like to one day, like, hopefully one day we can like collab with them and talk shit to them too and talk about all the things we disagree. I want to fucking
Dude,
yell at
for
John
me,
Campea
dude,
for
if
days, bro.
fucking Rob Jefferson ever just uttered my name and be like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
Tristan from
you would
Davenport,"
just
I
come,
would
dude.
fucking cry, dude.
You're
Like
like, I would just
I would
come.
come cry, dude. I would just be like,
I want to just one day be able to like collab with the new rock stars guys and just fucking be like, bro, I trusted you for Thor Love and Thunder. You said you got out of there and cried. I trusted you. I didn't know you were
Did
gonna
you
cry because it
cry
was
like
that
because it was
bad.
so bad, or like
Yeah,
you
I
fucking
was gonna
lied
be
to me,
like,
dude?
this fucking guy. I was like, I get it. You want red carpet, you want VIP, but goddamn boy, I took your fucking words as heart, man. But did you ever get to see the video when they were explaining the Sony and Marvel plan for Spider-Man and how apparently it was going to be Spider-Man, I think it even comes out in the video with the Kang the Conqueror thing I was talking about, right, where they were explaining it, where it's just like they're at Empire State University and Peter's already homies with Miles and he already has his powers. Like it's just like you just run into him like, oh, there's fucking Peter Parker. Hey Miles, what's up, bro? Like, man, we really did good yesterday stopping that robbery and shit. Like, how would you feel if that's the way Marvel handed Miles Morales in the live action? Like if they just went right into it, like no lube.
I mean, they kind of
Like,
did that with Tom Holland's is already, so like we're not exactly
yeah.
too far removed from that like pace of
Mhm.
handling a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So like, you know, like I said, that's not like super duper crazy. Is it the best? No.
But I was gonna say it's
But
like doesn't it sit kind of weird that nobody really knows his like true origin?
I mean, yes and no, but I say yes and no because like, dude, the people who are all about Miles, you
Mhm.
know, like you've experienced Miles Morales in some form or fashion. You know,
Yes. Oh, all right, folks, we lost Triggs. We had him right now, and he was just about to get into the juicy stuff. He was going to tell us about Miles Morales, but I'll bring him back on when he jumps on. He's on the road right now, getting home, so he'll be home in a little bit. But let me jump back to the comment sections when he returns. All right, or since we'll wait for him to return. So one was, of course, Disney. George put Disney being Disney, bro. And then, of course, that was right before he said the Miles Morales. We were talking about the multiverse stuff and Kang. Chrissy also says it would probably need about 6 months of CG, talking about the ending of them doing the Doomsday story and them releasing it in August. They're not releasing filming all the way to August and finishing it. They'll still need time to get to the CG and the editing and all that stuff like we were talking about also. But yeah, 100%. They'll probably release it 2026 around Supergirl or something like that, trying to burn DC out. Derpy also says the Marvel Glazer seems to upset about this precious Avengers. The Marvel Glazers. That's funny. George asked a good question. Can we get a Blade though? Blade will be pretty interesting. Triggs is back, my man. All right, Triggs.
Okay, so with what I was saying earlier,
yeah,
people have experienced Miles Morales already in one form or fashion, right? Whether you've read his comic books, you've seen him through Spider-Verse, or
video
you've
game.
played the video game, right?
Mhm.
So like, you kind of already know it, and with that being said, like, dude, yeah, unless you're gonna be like a super huge fucking purist, bro, like, shut the fuck up. Stop.
Well, I mean, in the comment section, George even makes it a good point when he says, well, we pretty much have the Spider-Verse, and the Spider-Verse gave us a really good introduction to Miles. Like, do you just go off of that intro? I mean, it's different because, he still has his mom and dad.
I mean, even then, like, the whatchamacallit, the video game is also still pretty true to
The story
like his actual
origin.
I mean, Spider-Verse kind of takes a little bit of liberties and stuff like that, like his dad ain't dead,
Mm-hmm.
shit like that. So I mean, there's a little bit of this and that, going on, but I mean, it's still along the lines, right? And you think about it with even every other like Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
They're all different in just a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna mute my mic, but only because my dogs are really loud. So,
are you gonna get on the computer already? You already at the house? Yeah. Just jump on when you get on the PC. It's fine. Take your time, brother. Take your time. But yeah, like that's a really good point. Of course, we have every iteration of Peter Parker throughout the multiverse and throughout different types of media. Miles Morales, I feel like you can get away with it, especially with the growth of the Spider-Verse, right? The Spider-Verse, like the amount of people that watch the Spider-Verse stuff and turn that into something huge, like that was amazing. Me as a comic book lover, like a lot of people out there, the way the community went and gravitated to making Miles Morales in the Spider-Verse as big as it was, turned out to be great. I thought it was a fantastic way to introduce Miles, even though us comic book lovers, Michael, good to see you in the comment section, my man. I should have brought you on, dude. Should have hit us up, man. I haven't heard from you in a while. I know you've been doing some medical stuff, so let us know when you're freed up, man. We'll bring you on the show. You can come and talk in with us and stuff like that. I'll get your comment right now. Let me just say this. Of course, the introduction to Miles in the comic book was different. Ultimate Universe was bitten by the spider the same way. Fought all the way through like the Spider-Verse said, the Kingpin, and then they kill off Spider-Man, Peter Parker, who was his mentor. He was kind of like close to his Uncle Ben. Same thing with like his uncle. There was a lot of stuff that was like pulled apart, kind of dissected and put into like a whole new Spider-Man telling story. But it really, I don't think it was in the original story. I don't think it was based on the concept that the spider was from an alternate universe. I think it was the same universe, but they just happened to have a second spider, which because of the fact that in Miles's universe, there is a Spider-Man, but the original Spider-Man dies. And of course you need a Spider-Man, and the second Spider-Man, Miles, picks up the mantle. But it's just that the original Peter Parker in that universe, who was like almost like a really perfect version of Peter Parker, like just dies in it. So it was kind of close to the way that the Spider-Verse did it. But of course, I do like the way that they made it, where it's like, well, the reason what makes Miles so special is that the spider from another universe bit him. And that's what makes him such an interesting introduction to the origin of the Spider-Man universe, right? Hey Triggs, welcome back, buddy.
The original mistake.
I thought it was cool. I just thought it was cool. It was a different telling. It wasn't like Peter Parker's origin story. It kind of was like, well, there was a spider in that universe, but now we have a second Spider-Man or a second spider from another universe that was supposed to, because that's the prophecy, a spider bites a guy and all this stuff. But instead it bites Miles in another universe. I thought that was really, really cool. Michael Betancourt in the comment section also says, I'm digging the idea being shown in the comic books now that Miles is an avatar for Anansi, the spider god, like Black Panther is for Bast. But that was very much done with the Arbiters, with the Spider-Verse the original story. There are already totems and all this other stuff, which is kind of in regards to the way Bast is and all this stuff, but it was more, I feel like it was more like almost like a Native American kind of vibe, more like a different type of god and a different pantheon. Does that make sense?
Like yes and no, because like, and the only reason that I'm not a big fan of that is because like, it's Peter Parker. He's like the OG, and like it to me it almost feels like a bit of a slap in the face. Like you're gonna 100%. Tell me that like the exact same way that they did Barry to Wally in DC.
Ooh,
you know, like they were like, actually Wally's faster than Barry, but Barry's got cooler power. And I'm just like, no, dude, like it's Barry.
Yeah, they always got to tweak it in some kind of weird way, right?
Yeah, like somehow or another, you know, like Wally's always like just a little bit better, and I'm like, nah, I don't know how to feel about that.
I agree. It's always this weird way that they try to do that, right?
Breaking news: Colin Farrell won Golden Globe for Penguin. Fuck yeah, dude!
Is that real?
Fuck yeah, dude! Derpy.
Hyper deserved. That was such a great show.
Yeah,
such a great show. Such a great show.
He's a trickster. So, of course, they're gonna make the brother the liar, man.
It's like, oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I get it. I mean, the thing is it cheap? Okay, so Spider-Man to me had always been important to the Marvel Universe because that was Peter Parker was Stan Lee's self-insert. Yeah, like it was kind of like based on his life.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Spider-Man is Stan Lee's like telling, like
that was his guy.
Telling the story of himself, you know, like the story that he would have liked to have lived, in not so violent of a way, I guess. But yeah, because I mean, like no one wants to lose their father figure to like, you know, random violence and stuff like that. But yeah, dude, you know, Spider-Man is real special, you know, especially when it comes to Marvel, comes to Stan Lee, you know, like, I mean, dude, I mean, it's you know, it's the guy, man.
Yep, 100%. 180 billion%. And it's kind of weird to know, and we've talked about this before, and I've made this comment, same thing. I think Mike's made a comment on this too in the past with us, where the idea that the younger generation has been coerced to believe that Miles is actually the Spider-Man of the Marvel Universe more than Peter Parker is a little weird, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel that, right?
No, what I feel is that they're making a huge resurgence or a huge push for him because I think that Tom Holland's is like Spider-Man didn't bring the young audience they were hoping for into comics, and that Miles did during Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
and 100%. So with that, like with that being like the looked at business model, I think they're just pushing a bit more for Miles, because like even now, like think of Ultimate Spider-Man's, you know, current run, dude, like he's like in his 30s or whatever. This dude's old.
Oh yeah, I heard about that too this past couple of days ago, right?
Like this guy's aged, you know, he's like my age or whatever, and he's like just being Spider-Man now.
Yeah, barely in college entry, right?
Yeah, like yeah, dude. I'm like I said, it's just granted, you know, like that's Ultimate Spider-Man that's not 616 Spider-Man or anything like that. And even then, like 616 Spider-Man is probably like, I mean, probably in his like early 30s or something like that. Like, I mean, guy's a little gruffy. He's had a kid. Got a wife or whatever. He's full season now. And I get it. Like the comic books are always going to lean toward a young generation, which I totally understand.
Yep.
But nonetheless, like for us, they're always going to be our like, oh, I remember when I saw this. I remember when I read this. I remember when I saw this panel, or experienced this, with these characters, and so like I get it, like right now Miles is the new hotness.
Yeah, he's a new flavor.
Yeah, for lack of a better term. But I mean, right, dude, like who knows? Right now everything to me is still very up in the air. I think everything is still I have to caution everyone, be patient. Be patient with what's going on, because as much as we would love to speculate and theory craft and stuff like that, well, I've noticed that even here on this channel, that when we do that, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Failure. Because we get ourselves in, yeah, I mean, we set ourselves up for an expectation that doesn't come sometimes. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it doesn't like coincide with our logic or the way that we would have run things. Like for me, dude, like I would love to have Secret Wars exactly the way that it was in the comic books. That ain't gonna happen though. That ain't gonna happen.
Yo, have you heard, like, this was in like the last 2 days, the idea of like the finale of what Secret Wars is gonna really be about? Like that apparently it's gonna be the God of Stories Loki versus the Doom, Robert Downey Jr. Doom from like the Evil Avengers, which kind of correlates to what Marvel just did like 5 months ago in Avengers Prime versus the Doctor Doom story. I don't know if you remember reading about this shit where it was like the Avenger Prime and it was Loki, like the worst Loki in the universe or whatever.
The story sounds very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
That's literally what they're gonna kind of go with. Avengers. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I can't even spell it. Average Prime. I spelled average. Avenger Prime. Yeah, Avenger Prime. So Avengers Prime was this story that literally was, bro, I'm not even lying when I say this. It was like a couple of months ago. And it was based on a Loki at the end of time who grabbed like all of these weird helmets and like just lure from all the years. And it was him versus Doctor Doom. It was him with like the Eye of Agamotto on his forehead. He was like the ultimate Doctor Strange. And he goes across the universe and grabs what's the brother's name of Thor? With a B, Balder.
Oh, Balder.
Balder, right? That's his helmet. Yeah. That's Balder's helmet, and he's using it because it's imbued with powers or whatever. But like, yeah, he ended up just fighting like an evil version of Doctor Doom in that story, and it's just them at the end of time fighting each other. And I wasn't impressed, dude. I wasn't impressed, and I've heard this kind of like around the realms the last couple of weeks, like with the Avengers story, that this is how it's going to come to fruition, is that it's going to be the Loki at the Loki story, which is the one that they saved in like the Gunn case, right? They put him like in just a random place across the universe that no one can touch so that he can make a return later on in some weird way against this Doctor Doom. And as we go through the time and shit like that, it makes more sense that of course they would bring Robert Downey Jr. back for this moment, right? that it's supposed to be like the ultimate Doom, bringing in like the ultimate. I forgot what he called them, like the War Bringers or the War Maker Avengers, or I don't know. He called them some shit. It was weird, but okay. If I was gonna tell you, as a comic book reader, and this goes out to anybody out there, any of the guys and the girls out there that are like us, the comic book fans and stuff. If I was going to tell you, yo, man, they're finally going to make Secret Wars. It's going to be just the way it was in the comic books, Loki Prime versus Doctor Doom. What do you think?
I'd have been like, well, that's not how it worked in the fucking comic book.
He's like, what do you
You're
smoke?
obviously bullshit.
Yeah.
So like, wrong. It's already this movie is trash. Secondly, dude, like I would like, I mean, what, like there's a lot of like, for me on this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Like that's just one of those where like, because I have an expectation of not wanting to, I guess, like get myself too excited over what could be from Secret Wars. I feel like I'm kind of just being like, what's going to happen with the current landscape and what are they setting us up for? Because like one thing that I also have a really, really big feeling is going to kind of come to pass before Doomsday and Secret Wars and stuff like that is that they're really going to start trying to like give a little bit more attention to the mutant population, not necessarily the X-Men, but the mutants.
Okay, so like
pretty much
mutants. Yeah, the mutant and stuff. I get that. That's actually not too bad. Okay, so I brought this up real quick just to kind of show you this was the team that Doctor Doom put together to fight Loki Prime. So like this is what we're working with. This is what we're working with.
Okay.
Look at the Wolverine's got fucking spikes coming out of his eyeballs, dude. Did you see that shit?
That's the Black Skull. Like, is this like a Venom Punisher or like?
No, it's Venom and Red Skull.
Venom and Red Skull.
And Red Skull, yeah, great, right? Yep, fuck, didn't know that was gonna be an ultimate.
Yep. Okay.
Can you imagine? You're like, dude, what can make Red Skull even better? The Venom symbiote. Yeah. Duh. Yeah, look at the Killmonger in the fucking in the fucking what's the Executioner, or what's the fucking thing from the Devastator armor, dude, from Thor?
Yeah, I think it is the Devastator.
That's all it is. Yeah, it's just him and that with all his like cuts across his body and shit all opened up and stuff. Bro, can you imagine if this is what they gave us? The Ghost, the Goblin, the Dark. I don't get the Dark Phoenix. I understand young Thanos because that's the son of Thanos. That was the whole like Infinity story where he went to like Attilan.
Like Dark Phoenix kind of looks like
the X-Men,
like Lady Death. No, like Lady Death.
Lady Death. You think so? You think it would be a mix of those two? You know who I thought it was? That chick in the X-Men, the one that has the power to see the future. I forgot her name. She's dating Mystique, though.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but that bitch is blue, though.
Is she?
And she has a gold mask. Yeah, she has a mask.
Yeah, that's the only. And then I would figure because she's like part of the Phoenix. Well, not part of the Phoenix, but like she's in the mutants, so you would think that there would be a way like that they kind of coincided in some story. Maybe
like literally looking at it.
But that's reaching, bro. That's reaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate the way that guy drew the Black Skull's arm on this side, on the right side. His left arm, the one that looks all twisted and broken and shit. That's so dumb. But yeah, so if I was going to tell you that this is what they were going to do with the Secret Wars, that instead of going Doctor Doom versus Fantastic Four, Reed Richards, which is like a very deep deep lore, deep cut to the comic book history of having the Fantastic Four versus Doctor Doom. Like those guys have been at each other's throats for years. 4 years. If I was going to tell you we were gonna flip that for a Loki versus Doctor Doom, how would you feel about that? Being that you're like such a huge fan of the Secret Wars storyline. Triggs. Uh-oh. I think Triggs froze. Triggs, are you there? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Well, I'll ask him when he gets back. But going back to the comment section, Edgar, what's up, man? Good to see you in the comment section. Says, well, hopefully Sony sells Spider-Man back to Marvel. Of course, I'm a strong believer in the same thing, man. I think that's a great thing if Sony was to be able to sell it because they don't really know what they're doing with the characters nor with what they are doing with money. They're just like hemorrhaging money. But what do you think would do good from that? I mean, with the concept of them buying Spider-Man and then getting him back, do you think that would put him across the board into all the many films in the Marvel universe that they're just going to start to put Spider-Man in all the different ways? Let me get you, Triggs. I see you. There you are, brother. Let me go ahead and
Dude,
kick
if it's not one thing, it's a fucking another, dude.
right.
God,
Let me
yeah.
kick that one. Okay. Good. Welcome back, dude. So what I was asking you is how would you feel as a fan of Secret Wars if they were literally going to just replace, because that's what they've done, is they replaced the two major characters of the story, like that it all kind of hinders on, Reed Richards and Doctor Doom, but like the original Doctor Doom, like into these two characters, Loki and, Iron Man's Doctor Doom. Like, how do you feel about this?
I mean, well, for one, that's not even really a Secret Wars story that like that's being shown. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be all that worried about it. But as it is, like we also got to remember, dude, like the Secret Wars story that we're about to get is going to be inherently different regardless.
Regardless, yeah.
So I have to remember, or I have to keep telling myself like this is not the story that we know. This is not the story that we've had before.
Yeah.
And so because of that, don't
Expectations.
make it, yeah, don't make it to where like you think that it's going to be a fucking panel for panel, retelling of this story, because like it's not, it's not going to be that, and the more that people accept that or people remember that, then I mean the better.
Yeah, good point. Good point. I mean, of course, I think the best thing that we could say, like, I mean, to jump off of this subject, right? Because we've already kind of like dwelled on it for a long time. Um, is that we really encourage you guys, if you haven't, go out and read the comics, or if not, watch a YouTube video of someone breaking it down. Comic Historian, Comics Explained, of course, Benny
And Rob,
and Rob have both dictated it and broken it down in very good ways. Go out there and experience it because I'll tell you, and I'm not even as big a fan of Secret Wars as Trigger is. I think it's a masterful storytelling story. I think it's great. I think it should be taught in schools, like
I mean,
literature,
dude, this is Jonathan Hickman's
like
like
greatest.
magnum
Almost,
opus. Yeah,
yeah,
this is one of the greatest stories that Marvel has ever put out,
yeah,
and in its entire publication history.
right.
Like this goes along the lines of like of Civil War, the original Civil War, of the Dark Phoenix saga,
Yes.
of Infinity. Not just important stories and stuff like that,
Mhm.
or I mean even Days of Future Past.
Mhm.
But like, I mean, because all those stories are fucking phenomenal. But the way that this story is laid out, plays out, and the fact that Jonathan Hickman took years,
To write it.
years to have small little minute details matter years later,
Mhm.
to me was just fucking, oh my god, bro. Like,
Yeah. Like more than likely, like I think Trigger will agree with me, and most, even Brian if he was here, I think the Russo brothers are going to do good. I think whatever it is that they're cooking up, they're going to cook us up something, and they're not going to let us down, because they haven't let us down yet with a lot of the stuff they create in the Marvel universe, which is something good, because I know that they've gone off, and we talked about this, where they've gone off and created other stuff, which is, you know, okay or somewhat mediocre or whatnot. But what they've done in the Marvel universe is good.
Not everything is going to be, Infinity War, and Endgame, right?
Yeah,
Like we can't. And I even said
constantly go
this,
back to it.
I even said this when those movies came out. I was
Mhm.
like, I feel like they've written themselves, or they've made themselves too important now, or
Yeah.
they've given themselves too much,
Mhm.
because like now it's like, where do we go from here? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining that those things are
how do
those
you
things are
top
good.
this?
Yeah,
Or how do you keep up with that sort of
yeah.
thing? And I say this all the time, like, yeah, dude, like you don't have to. Like it's not one of those things where like you gotta top it, you gotta be more
What's up, Sal? Good to see you.
extreme, but like, because I mean, I thought Extraction was fucking amazing.
I thought it
The
was good.
second
It
one
was
was,
fun. It
the
was
second
fun.
one wasn't. I mean, like cinematography wise was way better, but like
Yeah, yeah.
story wise was a little bit less.
And it was still
But
good.
like,
Like the cast characters,
yeah,
fucking Chris Helmsworth, still a G. Like it was a great show. Like it was a great movie. I mean, yeah, there's some silly stuff in it. Like we made fun of the ladder scene and like all that stuff. Like,
I
uh,
still just fucking dude.
I think we can all come to terms that there was some silly shit in it, but
Yeah,
it was fun. It was fun. It was fun. In a time right now that a lot of people are kind of like looking for like what is it? Den of Thieves 2 and like Preacher or Reacher. We're looking at all these films that are like military fun, Call of Duty kind of stuff. I think it
yeah.
was a cool, dynamically good film that was in that time frame, and it was really, really well. It's really, really well.
No, and I agree. Like these are those like little hidden gems that like like not everything is going to be the next John Wick, right? Not
Mhm.
everything's going to be the next Reacher, you know, or the next Extraction or anything like that. But you know what, dude? Like we've got some fucking solid pieces coming
Yeah.
from some good creators, and I know that like you, me, and Brian can be like extra critical about things, but like at the end of the day, dude, like we have really, really good content that came from very, very good creators. And
Yes.
very talented creators and people who have put together some fucking amazing things, dude. Like Chad Stileski, the guy who created John Wick. Like I
Yep.
didn't know he was a stunt coordinator. I did not know
Yes.
he
Yes.
was a
Yes.
stunt coordinator. And
Yeah.
that guy made four of the greatest fucking action
Action
films
movies. Yeah.
in history, dude.
Yeah. 100%.
Like there are countless memes about John Wick, and that started with a fucking stunt coordinator, dude. What? What? I mean, like that's to me that's fucking crazy, dude.
Yep. It's 100%. I agree. 100 million%. Um, Yeah, I really think that the best thing that we could say is, of course, I think, like we said, the Russo brothers are going to do a fantastic job, but don't deny yourself the opportunity, folks, from reading something that there's no way in their right mind that the movies would ever get that Secret Wars story done correctly in that nature. And it is like,
Yeah, guys,
you're missing out.
and moreover, manage your expectations. That is the
Managing.
one thing I will tell you right now. It is to manage your expectations, because if you go in to a movie like expecting to see something panel for panel, you're not gonna get it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get it. There's only been one medium that I've ever seen that was basically panel for panel, shot for shot, was The Last of Us, and that one was kind of told in the way of a movie was anyway. I mean, short of you not collecting things and you know killing killing clickers like the whole time,
Yeah.
but still, nonetheless, dude, that was a fucking
That was
amazing
very
TV show.
close to the source.
Yeah,
Extremely close. Extremely close. Um, So John, Big John, and Corpus Christi, my man, homie, my best friend, man. He says with Spider-Man back in the MCU, more stories would also be available, and different Spider-Man would also become available also. That's what we're talking about with what would be the good thing if Marvel got Spider-Man back from Sony. Like, what do you think? Like, it'll be cool, but like, what do you really think the possibilities of them getting it and it doing well for the Marvel universe? Like, they could fix the character, but what would it really do for Spider-Man? So that was the question that I asked the audience. And then John also puts a really good comment. You don't have to have another Infinity War / Endgame. What's up, Nina? Good to see you. Many fans are waiting to feel that excitement and the tearful moments, but when you take it to the max with each movie, eventually the MCU will burn out and become more limited even faster. As if if they could just keep a steady pace. That's understandable. That's very, very understandable.
Yeah, and that was ultimately my point, right? It is true because like eventually you're going to burn out. You're going to like eventually say like, okay, dude, like I got nothing else left in the tank, right? And John's right, and I say that because the way that we got Infinity War and Endgame and those moments were through the amalgamation of 13 years of storytelling in movies that we had already gotten.
Yep.
So because of that, you know, a lot of fans who had kept up with, with everything from, the first Iron Man or even Blade, if you want to go that far, you got to see all these things play out. And it was, I mean, it was beautiful,
Yep.
like there's no other way to properly describe, what Infinity War and Endgame was to the Marvel fandom. Uh,
But
but,
even with the
yeah.
concept, like if they would read the Infinity War story, it's so much more different. And there's so
Oh,
many
yeah.
more beautiful, masterful pieces that are in the story. I mean, and not to disregard the movies, because the movies had beautiful parts also. We compare the fight with the X-Men and all, the Silver Surfer and Adam Warlock from the Infinity comic books originally. But then without that, we would never have had like the Black Widow sacrificing herself with the whole like her fighting Hawkeye in that moment, like together. We
No,
would have never
I
had.
agree. Or
There were
even
so
the
good
get
moments.
this man a shield. Like
Yeah, dude, that was such awesome parts, dude.
yeah, the bombing scene, or coming through the portals. I mean, which is fuck,
The
dude. I
Bring
mean,
Me Thanos with Thor and
yeah,
shit.
or even the very first Avengers Assemble.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
that was great, dude. That was like
uh,
breathtaking, dude.
yeah, so like. I mean, we all remember what it was like being in the theater and hearing that for the first time. Oh, dude. I mean, you just wanted to punch a kid, dude.
Punch a kid. That's funny.
Yeah, dude. You just want to kick a fat kid in Kmart.
Yeah, man, I just wanted to steal someone's popcorn.
Fuck yeah, dude.
But like I tell people, like I guarantee the Russo brothers are going to deliver something that we haven't had in a very, very long time, especially with the Marvel universe, right? With like the Phase 4 and like a little bit into Phase 5. But like I have to tell people, like, let me ask you, like, when I ask you about it right now, what is the one thing that you remember from the Secret Wars comic book, like that panel that sticks out to you the most? Like right now, boom, top of your head. I just said Secret Wars. What's the first thing that popped up? That's the most impressed image that's in your head from Secret Wars.
Thanos still being alive, coming out of one of the ships
Yeah.
with with the
Fucking
Black
Black
Panther.
Order.
Yeah,
And Namor for no reason, just fucking
yeah,
Namor just hanging out with him.
yeah. They're still alive
Okay.
because at that point like, oh shit, dude, it's going fucking down, bro.
And it's Ultimate Thanos. It's the ultimate universe Thanos.
I don't think that's Ultimate Thanos.
That
I
wasn't the
think
616 one, was it?
no. Yeah, I think that's 616 Thanos.
Really?
Yeah.
I could have sworn it was the Ultimates one.
No, 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 no. It is, yeah, it is 616 Thanos because um everyone thought that he had died along with Namor in that explosion that was supposed to kill him when Black Panther released it. When Black Panther set off that bomb that was supposed to
Yeah,
kill
yeah.
uh
From
the the
Attilan,
Cabal
the Atalan bomb or what?
or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Which Thanos is? I'm gonna see real quick. Is in Secret Wars comics. I just want to because I just want to figure it out because I know because the way they draw him, it looks like the Ultimate War one. It looks like the Ultimate Universe. But I'll look it up later because I don't want to go into it too much. But my favorite scene that automatically pops into my head every fucking time I think of Secret Wars, there's 3 images that always pops in. One was Doctor Doom holding Thanos' spine.
Yeah. And I didn't want to go with that one because I felt it would
But
be a
that
little
is a
too cliche.
G. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
a G spine. That is a G ass shot. 2 is T'Challa with the glove up in the air and it's like smoking when he puts it on for the first time.
Yeah.
And the last one is Thanos sitting on a bench talking to the thing as a wall.
You know what my third one is? Because it's I mean obviously those two, but is Miles when he walks in to
To the hot
the
room.
to the hot room
Yeah.
with
Owen Reese.
Molecule Man.
Yeah. Yeah. When he turns around and looks at him, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's such a fucking awesome shot of Owen Reese, dude. Yeah, and those I feel like what's sad is there's a large amount of like the film fans that are not going to get those images. Like they're not going to get close to those amazing ideals of what could have happened. You know what I mean? What could have
Yeah,
been.
and I get it, but like you also got to remember, dude, like they're
Cheeseburger.
yeah, dude, cheeseburger. You know, like oh, dude, this
It would be
cheeseburger, this
T'Challa be like,
cheeseburger
give
tastes
that
like
man a
ass.
cheeseburger.
Yeah, this is the pocket cheeseburger, dude. How long have you had that here? I don't know, like 2 weeks. Sick, dude. Let me eat it.
Let me get it. Let me get at that boy.
Yeah,
I'll bring your mom back, I promise.
yeah. Where'd you get that cheese, Danny?
My mom alive? Owen Reese is
Hold on,
like,
dude.
gotcha, baby. God, that's so good. That's so good. Nina in the comment section made a really nice comment. I want to just say it. She says, I respect you fans. I could never keep up with any franchise, but you're all so dedicated. Nina, there's Harry Potter, there's Lord of the Rings, there's freaking Twilight, baby. Like
Dude,
there's a bunch of
man. There's the
franchises.
Akatar series. There's everything from Brandon Sanderson.
Hunger Games.
Yeah, I mean, you also
So
got Frank
much, dude.
Herbert's. You know, when you got the Doom saga. I
Mhm.
mean, you got it. You know, there are franchises in there. You know,
There's a
gotta put up
franchise
with
for
it.
everyone to be in charge of.
Yeah,
Star Wars. There's even Star Wars.
yeah. The Starfires.
Yep, Star Wars. So crazy. But yeah, apparently they dropped a really crazy script. I wanted to go back to it real quick. Yeah, but then they got rid of it. Now that we're back to this crazy stuff, which is what me and Trigger have been talking about, how it's going to go into this whole new universe and stuff like that. We are technically, I want to say, like 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away of getting Captain America: Brave New World. A lot of people talking kind of ups and downs. It's kind of more downs.
Down. Yeah, down.
Downs from what I heard of. And I wanted to bring this up. We got Sal in the comment section. We got Michael Betancourt in the comment section. We got some big people fans in the comment section. I was hanging out with, like I said earlier in the podcast when I was introing earlier, that I was hanging out with the group Savage Bunch of Gamers on Twitch yesterday, and our friend Moldrick, who comes in the comments, a good friend of mine. And we were talking about, what do you think, Triggs, if I was to tell you Red Hulk versus Anthony Mackie's winner, Falcon, who wins this fight?
Red Hulk.
Who wins this fight? Because we're about to get a whole ass movie dedicated to this.
Right.
Yeah, we're about to, and I hope it's not a 2-hour film. Because there's no way. There's no way. How do you think this is coming out? It's coming out February 13th. Oh, thank you, John, in the comment section. February 13th. Biggie. You just put Biggie. That's awesome. Comes out February 13th. Captain America: Brave New World. Red Hulk. There is a scene, and we see it in the trailer, and we can all agree, when Anthony Mackie, standing like a G, the way he is, and he's like, "You want me? Come and get me," and he's literally talking to the Red Hulk.
Yeah, dude. And to me, I'm kind of just like, fuck that.
Yeah, I was like, bro, don't entice it. What are you doing, man?
Yeah, like you gotta remember, like Red Hulk to Green Hulk, like Red Hulk knew what was going on. He was very well aware of his surroundings. He was capable of intelligent speech.
Yep.
He did not become crazy like Green Hulk did.
Yep.
Like that
Very
dude
methodical.
like would talk to you. He would be like, I'm gonna beat your ass
Yep.
in like a few minutes, you
Mhm.
know, or like right now. I'm just like really hot and big now. And blah blah blah. So yeah, I would be like, I'm gonna fuck right off right now. You ain't gotta worry about me. I'm outie.
So what do you like? We know this movie's coming out. What do you think, man? Do you like? We've seen the trailers. We've seen what it's all about. Of course, like I think we could all safely agree that none of us were looking at the concept of it's like a Falcon character versus a Hulk character. But from what you've received and what you've seen in the trailer and all that stuff, what do you think, man? I'm still taken on the fact that he like Mach 1 dives right under the ground and catches himself with his regular legs and doesn't like, splatter on the fucking ground. So that was already enough for me for the month. So I think
Yeah. I don't know, dude. Like at this point I'm kind of just like, hey man, whatever works, dog.
you're like, look, I just want to see a movie. I just want to see a
Yeah,
movie,
dude.
baby. Make it happen. Make it
Yeah,
fucking
dude. Like,
happen.
yeah, at this point, movie, bro. Like, and you know what, dude? Like the fucking Mexican actor that they've got playing the new Falcon.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah, dude. Like, run it. I'm all for it.
You know originally that guy was a mutant though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a
yeah.
mutant and he's kind of like he's got the deformity of like actually looking kind of bird-like. I don't know if you remember. Like he kind of had like
Uh,
some facial shit going on. He had like he looked like a bird. I want to say his name was like Joaquin, right?
I'm actually looking him up right now.
Falcon Joaquin Torres. Yeah, I'm gonna say comics face. I want to say he had like some very bird-like features. Oh yeah. He didn't have lenses, bro. Those were his real eyes. Yeah. I remember being something like that. But look, check him out. Check him out. I don't know if you could see it because you're on your phone, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has. This dude just got some eyes. Like, I don't know if you can spot that, but he just got some fucking big ass lenses on his face, dude. Like the lenses that are on his costume are his actual eyes. So I don't think that's what they're gonna do. It would be kind of interesting though. Yeah, look. There you go. The Falcon just became the Captain America's biggest problem.
Born in Mexico.
Yeah. My man.
Yeah. Then he moved to Arizona.
Representation, baby. I don't know how, but all right. But I'm excited. I think he's a good character. I think he did pretty good in the show and all that stuff, like being alongside, dynamically, like him and Anthony Mackie did very, very well together. But
Yeah.
yo, Anthony Mackie, Sal Seguda, what's up, my boy? In the comment section, dropping the hardest comment. Yo, I don't think Mackie can carry a movie like this.
Oh man, you know what, dude? Like, and it's so shitty because like we would hope that he can, right? You know, like I said, I mean, we would hope that he can. Will it happen? Who knows? Um, because yeah, I mean, like if we're really gonna get down to the brass tacks of things, the he's never had to carry a movie quite this large.
Yeah, I
Has
was
he
gonna say,
been like the center for several movies? Absolutely. But
yeah,
I mean,
Twisted Metal.
he's never had to carry a franchise.
Mhm.
But at the same time, let's remember that fucking we didn't think that fucking Chris could either. Cause this was coming hot off the heels of, you mean Johnny Storm?
Yeah,
Like this was the guy who was gonna like
the
head
reins.
up, like that's yeah. To me, it's one of those things where I'm kind of like, ah, man, like who knows?
But you know what? Like, I really did I liked him a lot in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show.
Yeah, dude,
I
I thought
liked
he was
him a
great.
lot. Even though like Anthony Mackie himself, that's a good point, guys. Really, really good point. Even though that him as an actor might not be able to carry a franchise or a film by himself, he works very well with other actors. And I'll never forget how fun it was. And I didn't know I needed it with him and Sebastian Stan together in Civil War. Like them in Civil War when they're fighting Spider-Man, when they're in the seat watching Captain America kiss Sharon Carter. Like, I did not know that the dynamic between these two silly assholes was something I really was gonna enjoy.
Yeah, dude, and it's true. Like you see the dynamic between these two characters, and you're kind of like, no way, what?
Yeah, yeah, you didn't. There's no way.
Way.
Yeah. Winter Soldier to fucking Civil War, dude. Winter Soldier Bucky just beating the fuck out of everybody and being like the Sasuke of the Naruto group, just being all
Yeah.
sad and running. And then all of a sudden it's like they're fighting together and it's Spider-Man on the wall and he's like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Everybody's got a gimmick." And like just that, and then there's like the scene, like I said, them kissing and them watching them and like nodding their heads, like, yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. That was fucking funny, man. Fucking funny. And then just the whole dynamic of him and Bucky, like Bucky healing from his trauma, them working on the boat together in New Orleans in the show, like them, like even Bucky kind of getting all fresh with his sister. Like, you're kind of like, okay. But I think it's because, Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan have such a great friendship outside of like in the convention scenes and them together, and they're always traveling together. Like, these guys work very well together, work really, really. They just know how to bounce off of each other. So
No, and I agree. It's very much the relationship between Evans and
Bucky.
between like Chris Evans and RDJ.
Oh,
Like
okay.
those two. I mean they became like beyond best friends.
Black Widow, right?
No, Captain America and Iron Man, bro.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There was like the Civil War scene where both of them are very, very close together, even in friendship, right? Like in real
Well,
life.
yeah,
But
yeah.
even with Scarlett Johansson and Chris Evans, like even
Oh
them
yeah. Well,
two.
I mean they've had a very close relate like they've been very close since even before the MCU.
Yeah.
So
So it's good. I mean, I think it could work like in that sense. If he has a really good cast of people around him that are like that he works very well with. Even with Paul Rudd when he did the Ant-Man stuff was really funny too. Like Anthony Mackie's a good actor when it comes to supporting roles. He's a
yeah,
great supporting role character. But yeah, I
but
really, really hope
that
that he does
but
well.
but that in there lies the point that everyone's trying to make
Yep.
is that he's a great supporting actor. Can he carry a movie like this? Can
Mhm.
he? Well, not just carry a movie like this, but can he continue to carry a franchise like
True.
this?
100%, 100%. Yeah, I agree. I'm really hoping that the movie does well when it comes to this. It's only coming out like within like almost like a month from now. So we have like, 30, 40 days left. But being close to that, since we're in the same area, um, okay, so last week we were talking about, there was this concept that they were thinking about doing like a Nomad Chris Evans story. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I remember you and I talking about it.
Mhm.
Uh, and I was kind of just like, I mean, well, we have the Infinity, or we have
Yeah.
it,
You're the
so
same way
like,
I was. I was like, we
I was
already
kind of
have
like,
that.
all right, dude. Like, I mean, it's a bit pointless, but I guess, dude, run it.
And he even had that scene where he like talks back to fucking Thunderbolt Ross. You remember?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and
So we know he
like,
was Nomad.
yeah, and it's kind of one of those things, like, bro, like, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? Like, I've been outrunning you guys for fucking 2 years, dude. Shut up, like.
So I think you had mentioned it too, and Brian had talked about this also. That you guys had talked about. It would have been cool if we got like a series based on him taking the stones back. You remember that?
Yeah.
That was a good concept. That was a really, really good concept. Like just that, because I always thought that would be a really great way because of course to me that would lead into the evil or the older asshole version of Captain America that saw all of these dudes in their origin story just doing it because they needed something and not doing it like the way Captain America who did it because he just wanted to help people. You know what I mean? He was always like the real hero, and everybody else just did it because, you know, Tony Stark was just smart. You know, Black Widow was a spy for Russia and just felt bad. Hawkeye was just an agent for Shield. You know what I mean? Like everybody had like their purpose, but it was never like a honorable entry. It was always like accidental or some shit, right? Captain America was the only one that was like a sacrifice of him doing it because he wanted to be helpful to the community. I always thought it would be a great intro for Original Sin. If you want to get an Original Sin aspect, he goes all the way back, sees everybody's origin story, and thinks everybody's just a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but even then, like, you know, with Original Sin, I really liked that because, like, that really, I mean, because, like, that also dealt with the Illuminati, you know, and the fact that he was, I guess, dismissed from the Illuminati, and, you know, like,
Empty chair.
yeah,
Which is my concept. Well, you had Peggy Carter, right, in the Illuminati in the films.
yeah.
But there was an empty chair. There was an empty chair. Empty chair.
That's true.
Yeah, we don't know who was there. I mean, what is it? Doctor Strange got mutilated in the last one, but empty chair. So apparently there were talks that kind of correlated with what you guys were talking about. So in a recent interview that was done in a podcast or something like that, one of the spokespersons for Marvel had came out in the show and said, "Oh, well, we even cut another Captain America film that we were going to do, a Captain America and Peggy Carter film." And apparently they were thinking of doing a film of Captain America and Peggy Carter having like adventures when they went back. It wasn't just him going back and living life all nilly-dilly. Like it was them like doing their Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. shit. Let me ask you, because Chris Evans just signed his contract starting with the Deadpool film being the first one and him coming back to do several films for Disney again, right? Which is going to lead, of course, into Doomsday and Secret Wars and all that stuff, right? Would you have wanted to see a movie of Captain America who went back and just went on adventures, creating S.H.I.E.L.D. and building up stuff with a Peggy Carter character?
No.
Would that have been something that interested you this time in the Marvel universe?
No.
And why is that? Like, what's the reason why it doesn't interest you? Like, it's good. I agree. So,
For me, it's kind of just like it would have just been white noise.
okay.
That's what I would have equated that to, is just white noise, right? A distraction. And for me, and I know this might be an unpopular opinion, but I want to see Shang-Chi. Like I want to see more of that.
The
Like,
pirate one, the one the part 2 that they were talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
where the fuck is that? You know, where's
that guy at?
yeah, where's that story? You know,
Or the what is it? The Blade movie or the Black Knight? The what is it? Captain Britain, the Black Knight with the Eternals guy.
Yeah.
Like whatever happened to those guys?
Exactly. You know, like where's Cersei? You know, and all of this. You know, like what about the Celestials?
Yeah.
WTF, dude? You know, y'all got some explaining to do, dog.
True. John says maybe not. A bit of it was already expressed in the first Captain America movie. And I agree. I 100% agree. I don't think I would have enjoyed seeing a Captain America Peggy Carter film. I really think that it would have been like a throwaway. I do like the idea of Captain America going back and putting all the stones back and all this other stuff and vice versa. But again, the only reason why I kind of like the idea of the Original Sin is because, like, let's say Captain America goes back and puts the crystal back for Peter Quill, right? Peter Quill will eventually get to the stone and get it the way that he was supposed to, not know why he was knocked out. But there was no Thanos. Thanos from that time is deleted. So Cap goes back and puts these crystals, and some of them aren't even going to get picked up. Vormir, there's no reason for Vormir at the time because Thanos is dead already. That Gamara's gone, so that doesn't even happen in the timeline in that world.
Yeah.
I just think it ends up being really wild. The idea of like an origin story of him watching these people be like kind of like convoluted in their origins, not being heroes, would be interesting. And it would give us a nice intro for Original Sin and him be the man on the wall and all that stuff that we talked about previously, dedicating it to the comic books more. But I just don't. I'm so kind of like, and this is going to be a small segue. I'm very tired of the Peggy Carter Captain America grind. I'm really tired of like them trying to push this like as a thing.
You're just afraid of strong women.
Strong female leads.
Yeah.
I just got done watching What If season 3, and I have never wanted to light my camera or my television on fire or shoot it with a gun more than what I felt with What If. Like, I did not like anything of What If season 3. By chance, Triggs, and I already know the answer to this. Did you watch What If? And since you didn't, how are you living life more comfortably than I am now? Because I had to fucking force myself to watch this.
Dude, I'm fucking dumb. I'm making money, dude. You know, I'm making plays. You know, like I'm
Can't do
doing
this,
good, bro.
Can't work with this garbage.
Yeah, dude. Like,
If series fucking,
you know, here's the idea that What If needs. What if it was good? How about that?
What if they just never made it?
Yeah.
I keep hearing that from so many
you
fucking
told
people,
a good
dude.
story. How about that? How
I
about
keep
you
hearing
just
that
tell
from
the
so
story?
many fucking people. I'm gonna put this just in the background, dude. So in the ending of What If, hey, look, guys, it's Peggy Carter with the Uatu, the Watcher, and all she has is a fucking shield. Hey, look, Ultron with a bunch of fucking Infinity Stones, and there's Peggy excited to see him, all while they travel in a ship in the 5th dimension. Hey, there's that guy again. They also introduced, hey guys, look at who that was. Did you see who that was? Hey guys, it's Birdie. Triggs, remember Birdie, the daughter of Howard the Duck and Darcy from Thor?
No.
Yeah, because she's not real, because she's not a real fucking character in the comic books. They just created her for this fucking film. So, and now we have a live action actress for this chick, which means she's going to be in the movies. She's going to be in the movies. So again, she's a bird that shoots lasers from her eyes. I don't understand where she gets the lasers part, because Howard the Duck shoots guns and he's a detective. Okay, so John says, what if? The What If series followed the What If comic book series. Actually, what's crazy is the What If series was originally developed to do like one-offs of big events that happened in the Marvel universe. It was like Thanos. Like, what if Thanos had a helicopter and you have fucking him in a helicopter? Like, what if Thanos snapped everybody and then gave everybody a Buick, the rest of the people that survived? It was always just like little snippets.
Well, yes and no, because there's also one that was like, what if Peter kept the symbiote? You know, what if the Hulk died instead of Kayara in World War Hulk? You know,
and then they end
like,
up changing them into like a multiverse, right?
Yeah.
And then they reference them in some crossover story or whatnot, but there's always those like one little ones that got more popularity in buys or whatnot, or got more attention than most stories, right?
Yeah.
The problem with this one is it led right into the Exiles series. Like, the What If comic book did not do that in the comics. They made the What If Exiles series because they wanted to push certain characters for later things, which was like the Kang variants or the Hyperion, King Hyperion thing, the Blue Marvel beating up Hyperion, the Peggy Carter exile character going around the multiverse with Kamala Khan, who no one cared for, who has the shield, who has fucking every weapon known to man, and the cables, guns, and the everything in the future. Like, what they ended up doing was they made it so that they can canonize fake characters who they wanted to use for future references. That's literally all that they wanted to use the exiles for. And that's what they did with this story. They created this character because they're going to want to bring her into, they want Darcy's fun, extravagant concepts. And, oh, Howard the Duck's been in all the movies, so we got to bring him in. He was even in the fucking Infinity War battle scene or whatever at the end. He showed up as like one of the dudes in the background, remember? But never an important character, but geez, man, fucking thank God he hooked up with Darcy. You know what I mean? Even to fucking tell you that there's a scene that they're in a tribunal against Uatu, and they get mad at Uatu for saving that weird girl in the Doctor Strange movies or whatever the fuck. Remember? There was that weird girl that was like the party chick that was hanging out with Wong. Do you remember? There was just some chick that was like, oh my God, Wong, and all this. I forgot what fucking series it was in.
It was
It was like Jenny with a Y or some shit.
She-Hulk.
Was it Shield?
Yeah, it was She-Hulk. It was for A-Bomb. Remember?
Yes, 100%. 100%. You're absolutely correct. Yeah, She-Hulk. So that girl who is a nobody in the series just was a little knick-knack joke, gets referenced here by the Watchers, and he's like, well, Uatu, you even saved that girl from Jenny with a Y. And that's why we have to put you in trial, because you constantly keep messing and meddling with the universe. And it's like, why are you going to do that to Uatu? Like, why are you going to make that he did that? Like, why? Like, I get it for the comedy and the lulls or whatever, but like, you're putting this into the live action stories. You want us to take these characters serious. Like, why would you reference that? Like, that was such a shit TV show too, the She-Hulk series. So in this particular season, right? Uatu is on trial. Peggy Carter goes to save him. They go to Ultron, the Ultimate Ultron, which was from the first season of the What If series, who cuts Thanos in half, steals the gems, turns into Ultron, and all this other shit. He becomes a friend of theirs because he wiped out everyone in the universe, in his universe, and had like a whole Arcane Victor moment where he was like, oh man, I realized that once you wipe everything out, the reason why there's peace is because there's just no one left. And if there's no one left, you can't have peace because it's just non-existent and all this. Like, I don't know. Ultron just has a fucking change of face 20 billion years after everyone's wiped out, right? Fuck them.
How do you have peace when there's no one here to be peaceful?
How do trees make sounds if you're not around to hear them or whatever the fuck? Oh my God.
But there's peace.
It's very silly, dude. It's extremely fucking silly. So then in the process of this, Ultron, who's never given a fuck about anybody, is like, you all go ahead. I'll slow them down. I'll risk my life for you guys. Only to be like, hey, bro, like, you only have the powers of the fucking Infinity Stones. Like, none of the Watchers give a fuck about that stuff, dude. So, of course, you know, they wipe them out. No one gives a shit. But later on, they're getting their... Oh, mind you, look who's there. Yo, as a matter of fact, Storm is there with the hammer, Mjolnir, giving concepts and ideals to the Thor Corps in Secret Wars and all this other stuff. So they start fighting the fucking Watchers, right? Mind you, 3 of them, and they're like, we're not having it. Uatu tells them to take the oath of the Watchers here. Like, just do the oath, like the Green Lanterns, you know, darkest day, darkest night, you know, nothing could escape my sight kind of shit. In that process, they end up stealing the powers of the fucking Beyonders, dude, or the Watchers, and now they're just fighting each other. Yeah, there's Peggy with a shield, dude. Mind you, she's just a chick with a shield with some super soldier shit like Captain America.
And Birdie.
And Birdie, yeah, dude. And Storm, all of them got it. All of them got them powers, dude, because they made the oath. Just spoke that shit into reality. And then later on, which is very awkward, look, cuts the shield in half, turns it into like 2 arms and starts beating the fuck out of him like Captain America with his 2 shields.
Yeah.
She puts it right back together and then shoots a laser beam out of the shield. Look. Pew. Well, I mean, she does that, which she never had. She never had that power before. She now has it. Yeah, pew, 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 pew. They're gonna do these guys right here. They're gonna have a what is it? One Punch Man moment. They're gonna headbutt each. Look at this shit, dude. This dude's just hammering this chick, hammering. Look, of course, an Awatu, a fucking watcher, beating the shit out of some normal people, some human beings. I believe it, right? Look at Peggy Carter's shit, bro. Look at what she does to this dude. Look at what she does to this dude. Grabs him by the mouth, and Hulk smashes him, dude. Hulk smashes him.
Is that Echo?
That is the Indian chick who is not Echo, which could have been Echo, but they were like, nah, fuck it. Let's make a whole new Indian chick for the second season of What If. And nobody didn't even have a reality in this universe. But now she's fighting a Watcher. Custom made character in this. Look at these dudes. Boom. One Punch Man. Yo. Why? Like, why? Why does this? Okay. And I'm not hating on this, guys. I'm not hating on this because the Watchers.
That's fine. I'll hate on it. It's trash.
You're like, fuck, I'll hate on it. Yo, DeMeo, the guy who made X-Men 97, was like, this is trash. Like, this is bad. Marvel should not have done this. And then he went off and made a comment saying that he's tired of like the Marvel Studios and stuff like genderizing and like what is it? Race swapping characters, like race swapping white characters and all this other stuff. Like he's a dude who's like very vocal. He's very part of like a community that, you know, like doesn't really get a lot of love when it comes to this kind of like filmmaking stuff. But what he did with X-Men was fantastic. He understood the characters. Yeah, he tweaked a little bit of stuff. He kind of like went into the idea that Magneto and Charles have like a bromance. He did the same thing with like Morph and Wolverine. He made Wolverine like the worst simp on the planet. But he did good for the storytelling of all the characters. He understood all the characters. And for whatever he did and was able to accomplish, he came back and saw this and was like, this sucks. Like what you all did with this show is bad. All to fill the agenda to create a What If series. Now they're going to go into making an animated or a live action series of What If with Peggy Carter or Haley Atwell.
God fucking damn it. I hope not.
It is. It already got talked about. It's already in production. And in fact, at the ending of this show, Peggy Carter is going to, I don't know, Sebuku or whatever the fuck, right? She risks her life to not get ripped out of the multiverse to save her friends from the oblivious Watchers who have like the ultimate power in the universe, right? She's gonna run at him with a shield, dude. I'm not even fucking lying, dude. I'm not even fucking lying. She stops these guys with a shield bash, right? That's literally how she stops the fucking Watchers. I can't write this shit. And then she disappears, and then Uatu's like, man, I feel like I'm being watched now over by Peggy Carter, who's out there, who's been an exile now to the universe. So what if or whatever? It's like, come on, dude. Like the Exiles comic, like no one read that shit. No one read the Exiles comic. Look, boom. Yeah, Peggy, good job, dude. Stopped him with a shield, baby. Good job. I love Peggy Carter and I love Haley Atwell, but come the fuck on, dude. Look, it's Doctor Strange and the stars. No reason. Fuck him. Right? Doctor Strange and the stars. I mean, you got no power here because Doctor Strange is the god here. It makes no fucking sense, but okay. Yeah. They have literally dominance in the multiverse, but not here because Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange. Yeah, and these three are still imbued with the power of the Watcher, dude. Like, they never take those powers away from these 3 chicks. 4 chicks, if you want to count Captain America, dude. Maybe one day we'll see her again. I fucking hope not, dude. I'm so tired of the Peggy Carter shit. I really, really am, dude. Like, I really am.
See, this is why I have my expectations very low for a lot of Marvel shit.
Yeah. Triggs, I need you on a drunk stupor to watch the last season of What If, dude.
dude.
Like, I need you
don't
just to
know.
take a day.
Honest to God, I don't know if the fucking audience wants that because I will be just
Yeah, I know you're not gonna like it. I don't know.
I'm gonna be mean and I might get racist. Like I don't know, dude.
I
Like,
might fucking.
like I don't know.
I
Dude.
might just say some racial slurs, man. I
Yeah,
don't know,
dude,
man.
I
I might just
might
get pushed over the
offensive.
edge.
Yeah,
I might
get
just be super
offensive.
offensive for no reason, dude.
Yeah.
God, that's harsh. That's harsh. That's funny as fuck. Yo,
You
I
all-
sat
you
down
all
and I
know
saw the
about me,
entire
man.
thing. I saw the entire What If series, and it was bad. It was very, very
Look,
bad.
dude,
It was a lot of push on the idea of like
Season
characters.
one was not that bad. I
Yeah,
fucking
season one
bashed
was
on it
okay.
a whole bunch, but it wasn't horrible. Was it great? Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, it wasn't good.
Would I watch it again? No.
You know what it was about season what if season one was that they were very transparent and they were like, no, guys, it's just us fucking around. Like, we're just gonna make this shit up. It wasn't supposed to
Which
be
was
canon.
cool. Like I could have been like, sick, dude. Thanks.
Yeah, we're like, oh yeah, dude. What if Ultron grabbed all the Infinity Gauntlets? It was like, yo, fuck that other dude. I'm a robot. Give me those gems.
Yeah.
I'll do some reality shit. I was okay with it. We made fun of it. He cuts Thanos in half, and we were like, that's what it took. I mean, the Hulk literally like got his asshole pushed in, and this guy shot him with a laser beam from his forehead. That was it. Bet. Fuck it. Well, thank God this is a What If show because it's not coming back. And here we are. 5 years later, season 3, and the same asshole comes back on the show to be like, hey guys, sorry. I'm really sorry. Like, you were right. 100 years down the road after I wiped out all of my fucking universe. Kind of sucks. Kind of sucks when they're not making any more fucking Friends episodes or Seinfeld or whatever the fuck. It's kind of boring. I've already seen everything.
Would you guys like to be friends?
Yeah, please, Peggy, please. You guys are so cool. I'll fight this dude in the 5th dimension with you. It'd be so great. Like, no, dude, it's bad. It's rough. They have a couple of like charming episodes, which are all right, but like, it's nothing that you want to like. It's nothing I want to sit down and watch. And I'm going to tell you the reason why is because Secret Wars is coming, and Battle World is coming, and all the different crazy multiversal creations that Doom is going to be using are there. That means we're going to get Birdie, and she's not even a real fucking character in the comic books, nor in the world, nor in Secret Wars, nor in anything. My name is Jeff, the fucking shark from, we're going to get Jeff. Can you, oh my God, don't even fucking do this to me, dude. Can you imagine in Secret Wars, we get Jeff the shark? For no, fuck you, Trigger. Don't even start, dude. Can you imagine this dude just comes in the battlefield, eats 5 people, comes in and spits them into like a lava pit and just turns around and you just see like Shark, the Jeff Shark? I'd be like, I'm done. Get me the fuck out of this theater. Like, take me out of the state. Marvel, like, stop. Like, don't even bring me back. Like, if there's a multiverse, do not bring me back where Marvel is involved. It's so fucking dumb. I'm so done with this. Yeah, Marvel What If, guys, if you're going to watch it, like, just drink. Like, get yourself super depressed. Like, then jump into it. Like, that's the only fucking way. Do a line if you need to, just to stay awake for the fucking 4th episodes or 5 episodes. Like, just only do it if you need to. Don't do it if you have to. Like, if you get an option, just don't. That's so fucking trash. But yeah, onward. So we talked about the Kang script. That was cool. The Captain America film that got cut with Peggy Carter. Not needed. It was all right, but apparently Nomad's coming. Fuck them. What else we got? Okay. Jumping into the next part. We're gonna jump right into DC Universe. So, this is gonna be something that everybody wants to talk about. Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa has officially come out and said that he's been casted as Lobo. Now, Lobo's going to be the antagonist character in Supergirl, which is, it coalesces very well with the DC Universe. Lobo going after Supergirl, them wanting to bounty up another Kryptonian that's like Superman. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's usually like Darkseid or like some other gang that's like, yo, fuck Kryptonians. Just wipe them out, Lobo. And Lobo goes after Supergirl, and Superman shows up to try to help her out. But, it's just a guy versus girl, Lobo being Lobo. How do we feel about this? I mean, the Supergirl cast, I think she's hot. She's beautiful. That's the girl from Game of Thrones that plays the young Tigerian chick, the blonde girl.
She's not she isn't she the fucking female Superman or whatever?
Yeah, she's Supergirl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Supergirl. Yeah,
Didn't you say Wonder
she's
Woman?
no, she's Supergirl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like,
Blonde girl's gonna be Supergirl, but Lobo's gonna
Yeah.
be going after her. So there's a comic book story that's about that, where Lobo gets hired as a bounty hunter to go after the Kryptonian girl because someone wants her as a weapon or whatnot. Usually like Darkseid or like what is her name? Mother, what is it? You know what I'm talking
Big
about,
Barda.
the general chick, right?
Yeah, Big Barda.
Yeah, Big Bart. Well, Big Bart is the captain of the team. Mother something. Mary, I forgot. Mother Mary Magdalene or what, I don't know. What's her name? Let me see. DC Mama, Big Mama, or something like that. DC Mama.
Actually, I think it is Big Mama.
Is
Or
it?
some shit.
Let's see. Darkseid. I can't even remember Darkseid. Oh yeah, it's Granny Goodness.
Granny.
Not even close. I was not even close. Granny
Right,
Goodness.
neither of us.
Yeah, neither of us. Because it's there. You go. Thank you, Sal. Sal jumps right in. He's like, Granny Goodness. Nobody gives
He's
a shit
like,
about
first
Granny
of all,
Goodness.
you
He's
both are dumb. Posers.
Yeah.
That's what you all are.
It's because that gets into like the fantasy mythology world of DC, and everybody looks at it just for like the original heroes. No one really gets into it. Yeah, Granny Goodness. Yeah, Granny Goodness. Fucking Granny Goodness. But yeah, apparently I think that's how it's gonna go. Granny Goodness is probably looking to build up the women's core that he's got for Darkseid, because Darkseid don't got no problem having women heroines in his group. He just wants women in his group. So he's looking for a Kryptonian Supergirl. And I think he sends Lobo. How do we feel about this? How do we feel about Jason Momoa being Lobo?
I mean, long, burly haired guy. I mean,
Built for this fucking character.
yeah.
I like how like Jason Momoa being like the dude of dudes was like, oh yeah, man, I used to read comic books. I looked up to Lobo. I always wanted to be him. It's like, fuck you, dude. Like no one has ever in their bright mind was like, yo, I've always wanted to been the fucking Question, dude. I always wanted to like take my face off and walk around and just say a bunch of like weird noir jokes like all my life. No one's gonna be like, I've always wanted to be Lobo. What the fuck, dude?
I always kind of felt like I was Lobo.
Yeah. When I was a kid, getting chose for
Yeah.
dodgeball, I was like, I'm gonna frack him or whatever, dude. Everything.
Yeah.
His fucking catchphrase. I'm gonna frack him, fracker. Yeah, I think it's cool. I think Jason Momoa does really well with these like very like rock and roll, very like genre-esque, very like crazy wild. I don't think Aquaman really had that really cool like opportunity for him to let loose, but like I heard he did exceptionally well in the Fast and the Furious saga as like a crazy guy. Like you remember when he came out in Fast and Furious? I think it was like 10.
Yeah.
Or something? I heard he did really, really well for his character. That he played a really funny psycho guy.
Well, I mean, Jason Momoa is not a bad actor in its entirety, right? Like for anyone who's ever seen the show C, I thought he was very, very good in that.
Is that the one where he wears like samurai armor and shit?
Well, it's about where he like the world is blind and eyesight is barely starting to come back into the world. So like everyone in the world is blind.
Oh shit. And it was pretty good. What was it called? C?
Yeah, see?
Oh shit. Well, yeah, we got confirmation. It came out that he's going to come back for the DC universe for James Gunn. Do you think, being that he was such a large part of the Snyderverse, and then him being chosen for another prominent role in the DC universe as Lobo, think that kind of hinders the way people see him in the DC universe? Like they're going to be like, "Oh, dude, wasn't that Aquaman? Like it's kind of weird." Like,
no, dude, and I gotta say that because like for me, like I'm not like I don't necessarily see Henry Cavill as Superman or just Superman.
okay,
Like because like he's not typecasted. Well, not typecasted, but like he was only Aquaman for a little bit, dude.
yeah.
He didn't do that for fucking 15 years or anything like that. Like
Don't
you look at Hugh Jackman and you're always gonna see Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine. Which he 100% embraces, right? But don't you feel like in the last several years, like Jason Momoa did get typecasted as a certain role?
A little bit, like I think his role is just intensity. Like when you see like his roles now, like now they're just really really intense.
They're grody, right? They're like real, like broody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Very biker esque, very Daryl Dixon. Even when he came out in
Yes.
that other biker movie, it was just him doing like Daryl Dixon with longer hair and just no shower.
Oh yeah. The bikers or some shit
The
like that. The
bikers or something,
bikers.
right?
Yeah, yeah. Some
That
shit
was
like that.
literally just what he does in fucking Walking Dead.
Yeah, he's just really dirty.
Yeah, it's just really dirty. He just doesn't brush his teeth or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about this last week where Jason Momoa, actually this week, right, where Jason Momoa was being called in to be Lobo. I think it's good. I think it's going to be fun. I mean, knowing that he's going to come back and he's going to be playing such a fun character. Lobo is always really, really cool in the comics. There have been, I want to say comic book, there's a film of Supergirl, and I don't know if I remember if Lobo is chasing her and Superman comes in, or if that was during the animated series of
I think it was
Superman,
during the animated
right?
series.
You remember this though, right?
Yeah.
I do remember Lobo, and Lobo is like, he's no slouch, guys. Lobo is
Oh yeah.
no
No. Oh,
slouch.
no.
This guy is like
Lobo is confirmed to be stronger
than Superman.
than Superman.
Yeah, he can hold his fucking own. And the only reason why, and he's like unstoppable, he's like immortal, if I'm not mistaken. He can like reconstitute himself, like even from like an atomic level. He's got a very crazy healing factor. He's got weapons on weapons that are like almost planet destroying weapons that he's capable of getting. And
which he could just do by himself anyway.
Yep, which he can do practically by himself. And the only reason why he ends up not getting a job done is because like the job gets called off. He's very much like a very, very cosmic strength level Deadpool, where like only money is the thing that dictates of why he doesn't want to do a job or not. And the majority of his people are like that too. They're like really aggressive. They're very much like
he killed
Riddick.
all of them.
Huh?
He killed all of them.
Yeah, he kills all. No, there's some of them where like the stories like they come back, or like there's like a small amount of them that are kind of still alive. He's like the prince of like that nationality.
Yeah, but his like original
race,
thing
right?
was that like he had killed all of them.
Yeah, but it's like you have to, because they're all like Riddick dudes. They're all like super crazy. They're like super strong. They're super crazy when it comes to money. They're like the worst idea of like pirates you can think of in the cosmic universe, right? So they end up like, yeah, I think they wipe each other out or some shit. Like they have to fight each other. That's just what they do. But yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's a cool villain for the Supergirl. I think it's gonna make it really fun. Sal says, remember when DC wrote that he was a fake and that there was another guy that was the real Lobo? They changed it back because everyone hated the storyline and the new character. Yeah, it's because they were trying to express the idea that this Lobo was like the Heart of Gold character, and he went away from the original one who was still with like a pack of their race or whatever, and he was like the king or the prince, or I forgot what it was. And this guy like just took his like his popularity, or I don't know, it was real weird. But yeah, it was a really shit story. That wasn't even that long ago. It was like 2-3 years ago. I remember that shit. But being that we're on the talks of Superman and or Lobo and Supergirl and DC and shit like that, what was it? So Superman early reviews have been kind of mixed. And me and Brian were talking about this, I want to say like 2 weeks ago or whatnot, when we were talking about the trailer. Did I get to talk to you about the trailer last week? Or no, or you weren't with me last week, right?
No, I wasn't.
How do you feel about the Superman trailer? Like, how do you feel about it? Like, do you think it's going to be good? Do you think it's going to be bad? Like,
I think I think I am one of the few who is kind of like, I just want to make it, like, I just hope it's not fucking bad.
yeah, dude. Can you imagine if James Gunn ruins Superman on the first fucking film out? That's going to be the hardest step, dude, in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's going to be really, really hard. I mean, you can't mess up Superman. Like, you can't. When you saw the trailer, like, what were your initial reactions to the trailer, like, off of it?
Initial reactions from it, I mean, they weren't bad. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and being like, oh, bro, like it was fucking ass or anything like that. But like,
Fucking
I,
crypto can eat ass or whatever.
yeah, dude, like my immediate reaction was very much like, okay, like let's see how this goes. You know,
Mhm.
like what are we gonna get? Like, are we getting origin story? Are we getting, like he's already been Superman for a little bit? Is this
Mhm.
fucking like a year one situation? Like, I don't know.
And how do we feel about this? Like, because you see the trailer of Spider-Man, right? Or Superman. I keep saying
Yeah,
Spider-Man. Why the fuck? Dude? It's just they're so close to the. Um, there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on in that trailer.
yeah, dude. It to me, I really, really thought it was very
Jam packed.
convoluted. Yeah, like
There's,
I thought there was too much
and I think it's
going on.
because of the fact that we're like fans of the comic books, right? So us seeing a serious Lex Luthor, us seeing Mister Terrific, us seeing Guy Gardner and Hawk Girl and Hawk Guy or whoever the fuck is with him together, big. Like that's Justice League big. Us or Justice Society even, right? Mr. Terrific means multiverse. Um a giant kaiju, that's Superman. That's just Superman in general. But you have a giant kaiju going through the city, and then later on you have a video scene of Lois caressing Clark as Superman with again that weird spaceship thing in the background fighting something at nighttime. And you see
Yeah,
Superman kind of like casually, like almost like he's like defeated mentally, right? Having a man moment, having like a man depressed moment, and Lois, Cork, like helping him out, like helping him relax. But knowing that we're getting Lois and Superman already knowing that he's Superman, then him fighting apparently like a guy with a U on his chest, and then the toy release explaining to us that that's Ultraman, which us, the comic book fan, knows Ultraman is the multiversal version of Superman from the Crime Syndicate, right? Then Crypto. Like you have Crypto, Fortress of Solitude, and the robot that Superman's over, like kind of like sad, being that's like Clicker or Clinker or whoever the robot is that protects the Fortress of Solitude. All under 2 hours. Even just by itself, like for me, this kind of caught me by surprise. Crypto and Lois Lane knowing he's Superman. That literally is like usually like its own stories. Crypto, like they have their own adventures. The Enforcer, John Kent, the bunch of stories. Crypto by himself, Super Pets and all this stuff. It's usually in that range. But Lois knowing that he's Superman is always like its own film almost. Right? It's him coursing the idea of him coming to terms that he's gonna tell her, I'm Superman. You know what I mean? Like, but that's already established. Like she knows this motherfucker Superman. But the thing that catches me the most is Ultraman and Mr. Terrific. Like Mr. Terrific is quantum physicist, the guy who the Justice League looks for understanding the multiverse, right?
yeah, and like for people who kind of just go off like the Arrowverse and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh yeah. He was in the multiverse. He was in that one too.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, dude. Obviously, he's like extremely important, right?
Yeah.
Um, there are smarter people out there than him. It's just that Mister Terrific is just like, I mean, over these past, like, I'd have to say like 10 years or something like that. He's had like a huge bump up in popularity and stuff
He's
like
the
that.
dude.
No, I don't. No idea
He's the
why.
dude for no reason.
Yeah,
He's literally wearing like a fucking race jacket, like a fucking NASCAR race jacket.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, WTF to that, but go for it.
What the fuck? Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. Like, what the fuck, dude? Well, Dr. Manhattan, yeah, he's a super genius, but he doesn't come from the DC universe.
Yeah,
Written by one of the guys who the DC universe used as a writer, right? But that's why they were like, "Oh, we bought the rights to the fucking Watchmen. Let's put him in the DC universe, baby," or whatever. And it's like that's shouldn't have done that. Like that's a good way to ruin like the Watchmen You're not gonna ruin the DC universe. You're gonna ruin the Watchmen. You know, the Watchmen are good on
Dude,
their own.
and I loved how DC handled the Watchmen's,
Yeah, they did well.
like introduction into the DC universe. I
Mhm.
thought that was so fucking
The
cool.
fucking Batman fucking fighting the fucking Reverse Flash and what is it? The
Well,
minute
not just that. Who is it? Lex Luthor dealing with Ozymandias. You
Ozymandias.
know, yeah, he was just like, "Oh, I'm super smart," and he's like, "Yeah, dude, so am I."
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to let you know that like your security system is fucking Game Boy level.
Got him. Ozymandias got him,
Yeah.
bitch. Yeah, that was fuck. And then not only that, they brought in like Marionette and the Puppeteer or whatever, the Joker
Yeah.
guys. Yeah, they literally gave you a way to show you that they're like, oh, dude, remember the comedian? Well, if you split them, you get the Joker and Batman. Like if you
Yeah.
get the Watchmen, that's Wally West sitting on the chair of the Morbius. You know what I mean? On the Morbius chair. Like they had so many things. Superman versus Dr. Manhattan. Like, you know, he's punching him in the scene when they're talking about the fucking metahumans being like ostracized and Superman's coming and Dr. Manhattan's like, here it is. I don't see past this. You know, this is where he kills me. And it was fucking wild, dude. The whole thing was good. But again, the Watchmen makes DC better. DC ruins the Watchmen. Because after that, they just turned the fucking Dr. Manhattan into a little baby boy, and now he's like he's a Superman, like they've delivered at the Kent's family, but he's wearing a fucking business suit as like a 3-year-old or whatever. He's got it's so crazy, dude. It's nuts. It's nuts. They didn't know what to do with it after, you know what I mean? But yeah, I feel okay. I'm gonna throw you a huge curveball because I threw the same curveball at Brian, and Brian was like, Chris, like, please don't. Like, don't speak this into existence, please. Okay. Ultraman. Evil version of Superman, right? Even if it's a Bizarro, I think it's a throwaway if they do that. If they're like, oh, Ultraman, but he's a clone. He ends up being Bizarro later because he's like a Superman ugly version or whatever. Dude, just let it be Ultraman. Let it be that the Authority brought in, because the engineers in this film, which is a character from the Authority, which is, she's a super smart chick. She's working along Lex Luthor. They're doing something crazy. Lex is like, I need to find something that can beat this fucking dude. And you bring the multiverse in the first film, which is kind of weird, but you know, he reaches out and this is what he gets. He gets Ultraman from the crime syndicate. What if, here we go, Marvel what if, dude. Marvel what the fuck ever if Henry Cavill as crime syndicate Ultraman.
No.
Dude, Triggs, can you imagine though if you brought him in as an evil Injustice Superman?
No.
That'd be cool. Henry Cavill, you don't think so? Why not? Why not? Okay, well, why no and why yes?
Why yes? No. Why no? Because, well, for one, dude, like I guarantee you, like even though, like yeah, like he had a very, very, respectful way of saying like, oh, okay, like it didn't pan out, no worries,
Yeah, you know what's up.
blah blah blah. I guarantee you, like those text messages were like, dude, you guys are fucking 12.
Assholes.
You guys are fucking tossers, like I guarantee you,
Robbie
like,
Black for back Adam, dude.
Like you fucking had me in this abysmal ass movie to like literally just fire me like a fucking like month later, dude. Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourselves, right? But red herring, dude. Fucking plain wolf, like Andrew Garfield when he was like, I'm not in Spider-Man, I swear. Yo, they bring at the end of the movie, like fucking Ultraman takes his fucking mask off, and it's like dick asshole version Superman Henry Cavill from when they brought him back and he's fighting the Justice League and he's fucking eyeballing Barry Allen sideways kind of shit, remember?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be bad, dude, because again, you put it out there. There was a lot of like what we as fans heard as bad blood between Henry Cavill and the DC universe. And you break it down, and James Gunn came out honestly in a podcast like a couple of months ago and was like, well, I mean, we talked to Henry Cavill, we were kind of about him, and he's a great guy, but we just had a different vision because we want to use a younger Superman. And I get it. I can see that. It's this whole new thing, which I don't see him using Peacemaker, but he's just going to keep his own IPs because they're his, you know what I mean? And he thinks they're fucking perfect. But wow, I would be really impressed if they brought in Henry Cavill like as the evil version of Superman. And then of course, like later on, maybe down the road, 5-6 years down the road, we get the Crisis on Two Earths, and we get the entire crime syndicate, and they bring in like, can you minus what's his name, Ezra Miller, minus Ezra Miller, the piece of shit. They bring in all the other Justice League members as like the evil versions.
Dude, like who are you fucking
Come
trying to
on.
impress, bro?
Come on, dude.
Like, yeah, bro. Like, who are you trying to impress, dog? Like,
come on, that would be dope, man. Because of course, like everybody, like the big nod of the hat was the Snyderverse. Everyone really loved the Snyderverse, and it wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
But what if they're just like, hey, dude, in a different universe, the Justice League from Snyderverse is here, but they're all fucking evil, dude. Like they're all the bad. It was the bad DC universe. Like that would be pretty tight. Minus, I mean, Ezra. Ezra Miller though, like just him by himself, like, hey guys, what's up? I'm back, and it's not even the Flash
pushing old ladies down.
Yeah, just fucking up Hawaii, dude. Just fucking up Hawaii.
Yeah.
Do you think in any universe that's good? We got a Nicolas Cage Superman for no reason in the Flash movie, and everyone was.
But that's
so
because
hyped.
like Nicolas Cage like was going to be Superman for like a month or something, and then
Never
like.
happened.
Yeah,
Never
it like
happened.
never happened. So like it's cool to like give him a nod, but like
Is it? I was like the same thing.
Like all it was though. Like that's all it was. Like all he did was just like laser beam a spider.
Yeah, and then look back
like,
and cross his arm. He's just like,
yeah, and then like look, at a portal.
Would have been funny if he looked at him and was like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah,
I did that. God damn it, dude. Come on, you gotta see that as like it would be an interesting, like, okay, we're not gonna ever go back to the Snyderverse. Would it though? That's gonna be our saying for the week. Is it though?
Yeah, would it though?
Yeah, I thought it would be cool, like to have Henry Cavill come back as the evil Superman. Like if he's willing to reprise that role, no matter where it goes from there, like I think it would be pretty dope.
No, dude, the role that I want him to reprise,
girl.
Yeah, dude, girl.
Yeah, girl.
Like, yeah, dude, give him, give me back my girl.
Yeah. I was just talking about the other day, and if you look at the fucking pictures, dude, whoever the fuck is behind that costume, he's a big boy, dude. He's a Giga Chad boy back there, dude. He's walking by the Superman guy that they're using has his like loosely fitting Superman outfit that's all loose and shit. And this guy looks like a whole ass guy, like a whole 3 little dudes in a suit using each section, man. He looks big, man. And if that's why in my mind, I was like, yo, what if, because Henry Cavill looked big as fuck in the first Superman movie when he pops in with no shirt on. Like, what if they were like, hey, man, it'd be cool if we brought you back for this one thing. I mean, we're using Jason, we're using fucking John Cena, we're using all the cast of Peacemaker. Like, there's still room for you guys to be here, but it won't be the same characters. You know what I mean? Hey, it's not a bad idea. But it'd be cool. Like, I just wouldn't know what to do with like Gal Gadot and like the cyborg guy. Like, I don't even think they'll bring that guy back because of all the problems they had with him, right? Ray Fisher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's simple thinking. But going back to that concept, without Henry Cavill, how do you feel knowing that there's a possibility, being that the toys released the name and all that stuff, and it's not the guy from the Authority, but it is a character known as Ultraman, and knowing that the fact that the only reference to Ultraman that we have in the comic books is a character from an older multiverse, how do you feel knowing that in this Superman film, with all the stuff we saw in the trailer, there is a very sliver of concept that there might be like a multiversal thing going on? Too soon? Not too soon?
That's way too soon. That to me is like Green Lantern, like making fucking Parallax the fucking villain.
Right,
for the first movie.
Yeah, on the first episode of the fucking HBO Max show, he's just like, "Hey guys, I made Parallax."
Yeah.
Hey, well, fuck credits. Credits. You're like, "Oh, geez, where does this go?" That's also a good question too. That's also a good point. I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about Guy Gardner? We get our first live action. It's Nathan Fillion, the original Hal Jordan voice. That's cool though. I know he's not Hal Jordan, but he's portraying a Green Lantern, Nathan Fillion, who is Hal Jordan in every animated series except for what was his name? The Supernatural kid, right? Jared Pallet, no,
Jensen Ackles.
Jensen Ackles, right? Jensen Ackles played him once.
Did he?
Yeah, he played him. He voiced him once. Yeah, that's where he fucking commits suicide in the alternate universe, where he fucking flies the ship into what is it? Flashpoint. I think it was Hal Jordan in Flashpoint. It'd be so cool if I got that.
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up because I don't think he's voiced Green Lantern like ever.
I could have sworn, but then again, I am not smart. I'm not the smartest cookie in the bunch, baby. Did he?
It
Oh, are
does
you on
not
your phone?
look like
Are you on your phone? You told me I would have looked
No,
it up.
I have my laptop.
Flashpoint, Green Lantern voice actor. Oh well, in the Justice League one, who I don't know. Flashpoint Paradox. Nathan. Oh, I guess it was Nathan Fillion. Still, I thought it was him.
Always Nathan Fillion.
Oh yeah, it's been Nathan. Yeah, you know, and I know there was one point, but I know that Nathan Fillion has always been. But that's cool though. So they're like, hey, you know what? We can't get you as Hal Jordan. We have a whole other idea that we're doing with him, series and stuff. But would you like to be Guy Gardner? And there you see Nathan Fillion come in with his fucking weird bowl haircut. Triggs, I need to know. I need to know. What do you think?
That was rough to watch.
that was rough. I love that shit. Yo,
That was rough to watch.
can you give me like just some little rundown on Guy Gardner, Nathan Fillion, or Guy Gardner?
Guy Gardner is a is an Earthbound character. He is the he is the guy who was originally supposed to inherit the first Green Lantern ring on Earth, which was which originally belonged to Abin Sur. But Hal Jordan happened to be closer, so it went to Hal Jordan.
Okay.
And Guy Gardner was a cop and had a very, very big attitude problem. He was also like heavily abused as a child, by like a drunk dad and like a fucking bad mom and stuff like that. So like I believe he was also like fired from like, the force and stuff like that. Uh I don't remember him being a soldier or anything like that. I don't believe he was in the military, but I know he was a police officer, and he was the second. Um, he was the second Green Lantern after Hal Jordan.
Yeah, and he's a G. I used to love this guy in the comic books. Like when he showed up, I know it was gonna be like a fucking. He was like a brick, dude. You know, he'd always been like the tank character of the Justice League male, like human characters, right?
Yeah, dude. Like this dude has fought like strong people without his ring and just decided to like fuck it, bro. Like I got no ring, but I got hands,
I
dude.
got
Come
hands
get
though.
'em.
Come get the
Yeah,
smoke. It
yeah,
rated
dude.
E for everyone, dude. What was really cool about it too is, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he like one of the first Green Lanterns to become a Red Lantern?
He was the first.
He was the first Red Lantern, right?
Yeah, the first like human to become a Red Lantern.
Yeah, I do remember that, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's pretty fucking wild if you think about it. That is really,
Oh yeah.
really wild." But how do you feel about Guy Gardner being the first introduction of a Green Lantern in the DC universe coming into James Gunn series?
Dude, I mean, Guy Gardner wouldn't have been my first um my first choice. I mean, me like this is kind of like me just being a purist and stuff like that. I would have preferred Hal Jordan. But like I don't always get what I want. Uh but also like the who was it? the guy who they got for Jon Stewart and stuff like that, and even the guy who
Oh,
they
that's good.
announced, who they announced um for Hal Jordan. I mean, he's also a fucking great actor.
Mhm.
Uh, oh my god, dude, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I know. I can tell.
Yeah, man. I mean, he for like I happen to love this franchise, which is like the kaiju franchise, like the Godzilla King Kong franchise, and he
Yeah, yeah,
comes
yeah.
out. So
What'd
yeah,
you say?
like I like I said, I'm
Amps,
a big
what's up, my man? Yeah. So like, so with Guy Gardner being introduced and all that stuff, and Hal Jordan being the second one, like how excited are you to see Guy Gardner appear in a Superman film? Because I mean, they've interacted before in the comic books. You know, Guy Gardner's always been this kind of guy that's like stand on business. You know, I'll put my neck on your, I'll put my knee in your neck if I'm a cop kind of guy. You know what I mean?
yeah
Like a lot of people are like, yo, this guy he's a fucking giga chad when it comes to being a police officer.
yeah, dude. He's
Typical New York Irish cop kind of
yeah
guy.
a little intense, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really nice, interesting because I think they made a really good choice. I think James Gunn did a really, really good. Of course, he's really, really, really good friends with Nathan Fillion. Used him a lot in the Marvel universe across the board, right?
Yeah.
I think if you ever remember, they had the when they did Justice League War, the animated film, right, against Darkseid when the Justice League gets together for the first time.
Mhm.
It was based off of the New 52 Superman, which had the high collar. Batman and him are fighting in like this construction site. And Superman like fucking grabs like, I don't know, like the taser that Batman shoots at him. And he's like, ooh, what do you do? Remember, I don't know if you remember this when he's like a super cocky Superman. And
Vaguely, yeah.
and it's Nathan Fillion's Green Lantern and Batman like standing next to each other, and Hal Jordan's like puts a bubble around Batman, and he's like, all right, Tyke, like you ain't got no power, so you kind of like sit back and chill out because I'll handle this guy or whatever. And Superman just puts a fucking licking on the Green Lantern dirty. And it's the scene where
yeah,
you
yeah,
heard
yeah,
this shit,
yeah,
you
yeah.
heard this shit, right?
Yeah.
It was, dude, the dynamic that Nathan Fillion has as the Green Lantern in that film is fucking funny, dude. Like he's super good at like the overconfident, just like super like conceited version of himself. There's even the scene where they're like standing in the street and he's like, he's gonna fucking kill us. And Batman's like, nah, but he's wrong because you don't kill. And that's when Superman like, stops and like he's not as intimidating or whatever. But he does like the high five to Barry Allen, and Barry Allen doesn't know who the fuck he is or whatever. He doesn't give him a high five, and it's just really funny. I'm really excited to see Nathan Fillion pull off like the machismo, overconfident, I'm better than you, Superman, Green Lantern in this story.
Yeah.
Like I am so excited live action to see this shit happen. I am so excited. But yeah, other than that, I mean the Superman thing, cool. Fucking what's it, Crypto Dog or whatever the fuck. Crypto was cool, but like I don't know. I know you're a big dog guy, so I don't want to catch you
I got
crying in the
6 of 'em.
theater, bro.
Crypto's not gonna die. Like
It's James
you,
Gunn. Well,
bro. First of all, the last time you were like, bro, they're gonna kill
Guardians
somebody
of the
in a
Galaxy
fucking
3, right?
with Guardians, and no one
Yeah,
did.
they got us. They got me bad, dude. They got everybody
Yeah.
bad. Everybody thought someone was gonna die.
No, not everybody. Honestly, just you.
Everyone, but he set it up too. He knew it too in the story. Set up Rocket. Set up fucking Nebula when she's fighting fucking Adam Warlock. Set up Drax when he's fucking dying, fighting him too, bleeding to death. Peter Quill when he's out in space. Like they set up a lot of like the death scenes for each character, and they didn't do it because he was like, no, these characters are too important. You know what I mean? Will he kill off a character? Dude, he killed off like the entire cast of the fucking Suicide Squad in the first 5 seconds of the film, dude. Like he'll kill everybody. I don't give a shit. I mean, he killed off Starro with fucking Harley Quinn, one of the biggest fucking Justice League villains ever, dude. Will he? I don't know, man. I don't think he kills Crypto. That's his real dog, isn't it?
Probably, dude.
It's his real dog. Like I think he wanted to put his actual dog in the film, and he's like, dude, he's Crypto. So if I'm not mistaken, I think that's his real dog, and I don't think he's gonna fuck. You're right. I don't think he's gonna kill Crypto. But remember, there is the comic book that introduces John Kent and they kill off Crypto, or at least he's absorbed by that one.
Yeah, I was about to
You
say, I was
remember
like,
that shit,
yeah, I
right?
remember. Yeah, he's absorbed by like whatever thing they're fighting,
Yeah.
and just John
Goes
loses
fuck,
it,
dude. That is such a, and that splash
loses
page
it,
is so
dude.
good. That
Dude, that oh yeah, that splash panel like right after that was just.
that was so fucking
It's probably
crazy.
my favorite John's like panel like ever.
Mm-hmm. And he's just so mad. Remember, he fucks that dude up, and it was one of the 4 Supermen from the Death of Superman. It was the one with the eyes, the guy with the guy that used the glasses. Here, look, I found the picture.
Oh, the
And
Eradicator.
the Eradicator, yeah, it's so good. Look, there's the picture right there, dude.
Yeah, yeah, and he's
That
just
was like,
holding, yeah,
God,
just
that was
holding the
so good.
cape. He's like, bro, come get it, dude.
Bro, I
I'm
remember I
ready
was
to
reading this
run.
comic book, and then you end up finding out that something happens to Crypto, and I got choked up. I was like, no way, dude. And then they shows this, and I was like, dude, I hope I fucking flip this channel or the page, and John's starting this alien's face up, dude. I hope he's just eating this guy's soul, dude. And it was good. Like I think he ends up saving him at the end, or they bring him back, or I can't remember what happens, but John Kent, I'm really excited to hopefully see him one day. They did exceptionally well with him in the series of Lois and Clark. So knowing that Crypto's there, sooner or later you're gonna get like Crypto's injured storyline. You know what I mean? It has to happen, but not like death, but like the Rocket Raccoon thing, right? I think that's very much in the opportunity of them doing something like that. But yeah, I don't think they're killing off Crypto anytime soon. They would fuck the whole film up. Every dog lover would hate these motherfuckers. But yeah, other than that, excited? Superman? Did it make you more excited or not excited?
I mean, it was nice, dude. You don't usually. I mean, the last time you saw a Crypto, was,
Super
the
Pets.
Superman and Lois. The Superman and Lois and
Oh yeah, yeah,
Crypto.
yeah.
And Crypto was just a dog he adopted, right? It
Yeah.
wasn't a superpowered, Kryptonian dog or anything like that. Um, so I mean, it was nice.
I agree.
I mean, as it is, dude. Like, I just rewatched that episode again and like fucking decided to be depressed for like 7 hours.
Oh, that's the Superman ending or what?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh man, it's so good. Lois and Clark, dude. God, that season finale was fucking awesome, man. Thank God there's still people out there that believe in like the storytelling of comic books in the right way, right?
Well, and then like not even storytelling in comics, dude. Because like very very little of that had to do with comics. Like the only thing that they got right was Superman dies, when fighting Doomsday.
And Doomsday, yeah.
Yeah, and
Old
that's like
age, giving us like, a good send off. It was a good poetic send off.
yeah, no, and honestly, to me, I thought while like I'm obviously not happy that they ended, the Superman and Lois, series, the send off as a whole to the Arrowverse, I thought was beautiful.
100%. 100 fucking percent. Yeah, they did very well with the characters for the CW shows and stuff like that with Superman and stuff. They did extremely well. Other than that, we got 10:30, man. We got a little bit of time left, maybe a couple minutes. Triggs, got to ask you. I know you've been a busy man, but how have you been with the Skeleton Crew and Creature Commandos?
Dude,
Non-existent?
that's no, man. I'm so fucking out of the loop with that. Like all I get are snippets that I see from like um YouTube and
Yeah, like
Twitter and shit like
highlights
that.
and just things that pop
Yeah.
up. So, Skeleton Crew ended up. I kind of feel like it was kind of bad. This is the first
you think so?
episode that I feel was kind of like, all right, this didn't really do so hot. It still has its Goonies vibes.
Yeah.
It did introduce a little bit more of the Star Wars stuff, like, a little bit more like the creature building and the pirates and all this other stuff that they're building on and stuff, but not really in the sense of like building into the lure of the Star Wars universe with the film. It's still very much an adventure series, but like they did something really weird, which I've never seen before. And I kind of felt like they wrote this in just because it's like, well, how else are these kids going to get away? Like, we don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. And what they did was they got the kids where they were separated from their pirate ship that they found on their planet that they're going around on the adventure, right? they get back to the ship and they kind of like separate because they have an argument, the children as a group or whatever. They get back to the ship and they bring it and they get back together, and then all of a sudden they're kind of in like a Toy Story 3 moment where they're in like a junkyard and it's getting like demolished by like the big like like the thing that tears it down.
Yeah.
And the thing is slowly getting closer to like the ship is here and it's slowly like just taking in trash and kind of like pulling it, right? It gets to the ship. It's kind of like digging into it like little bits. It's not really like fucking killing it. It's suspenseful shit, like the suspense building in a film where it's like pulling and yanking and not really destroying it. The kids are doing everything they can. Eventually they start to pull away. And apparently there was this button that they were like, never hit this button. The guy that was on the ship with them was like, never hit it. It's like a do or die thing. And they do it. And the ship loses its skin like a snake. I can't explain it anything other than that. Because like the thing is like it's pulling. And then all of a sudden it grabs it and it pulls it and the ship escapes and it leaves like a top layer of ship. And then it like pulls out and it's a whole new ship and it flies off. And I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like that doesn't make
I was gonna say I was really thinking you were gonna be like, and like, and it turns into a Gundam, and you basically
no, dude,
gave
like
me that.
I can't make this up. Like I
Yeah.
would have loved to have made it sound stupid, but like no, dude, like that's what literally happens. And I was kind of confused. Let me see if I can find it. Skeleton crew ship scene. Yeah. And I'll put it in the background or whatever, but it's just it really was weird. And yeah, I wanted to like not really talk about it too much because it doesn't really make any sense to me. Like this show is like silly. It's like it's really silly. But yeah, how do we make that make sense?
I don't know, dude. That, like, you basically just told me that it turns into a Gundam. So
Well, it's not even a Gundam. It removes its skin like a snake when it sheds its skin, and then it like just fucks off like completely. And I don't know, man. Like when I saw that, I was kind of like, well, that's cheesy writing. Oh, you know what? As a matter of fucking fact, here it is, dude. Look, I'm not gonna play any sound because I'm not gonna get fucking
right, demonetized or whatever.
Fucking Disney. Disney, you're amazing. Please don't strike our videos. Yeah, you're the best. So it blows all of this shit off. There's that shit pulling the ship, and then it's gonna pull away. Look, and it sheds its skin. And then there it is, brand new ship. Like, do you see that? Of course, it's gonna be in like clips, right? They're gonna like, oh yeah, of course. But boom, watch. Pulls the lever, all the little bumps and shit. I literally thought it was just self-destructing. But it pulls away from it, and it's just skin, and that's the new ship. What does that mean? Like, what does that even mean? Like, I don't understand that. And even in sci-fi writing, I don't get that. Like, they had a ship that shed its skin, and that's what the fucking thing was pulling on. Like, why didn't it just bite through the whole fucking ship like a regular destruction fucking junkyard machine or whatever? Why was it just feeling the skin of the ship? You know what I mean?
Maybe it was armor. Who knows, dude?
Maybe, but like still, like, how did they blow the skin off of it without it taking the kid out in the gunner spot? Or how do you blow the skin off of a ship that's that heavy to take that much?
Dude, this is a conversation that like ultra nerds have. You need to take a step back, dude.
Take a step back. It's like no one's watching this, Chris. Why even thinking about this? I don't know. It's just I don't know if it was like a pet peeve that I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why did this ship have
this is akin to the conversation of how does Superman wash his uniform
in a washing machine? Super washing machine. No,
but he has super sweat, you know.
Yeah, super sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Skeleton Crew's been going on for a couple bits. I think this is episode 5 or episode 6, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a fun ride, man. The only thing is, like I said, like it's kind of getting a little bit more into the idea that you're starting to realize it's more of a kids show.
Yeah.
With like the way that they're kind of like writing this kind of stuff where it's like really corny and like, do you remember because there's Star Wars that can be for kids, right? Like you can watch this and literally be like, well, that's what Star Wars is supposed to be, a child show, right? As an adult, you can watch it and kind of get away with it, but it's still kind of like, a kid's show. Do you remember Obi-Wan Kenobi, the show?
Unfortunately,
Do you remember, and this, I fucking hate this. Do you remember the scene where Princess Leia is running in the forest?
no.
And she's running away from like the three people, and they're doing like the Benny Hinn, and it was like them just running around the forest and jumping over trees and like close-ups of the people running and chasing her, and it was a really bad chase scene. But if I was like 10,
I don't, but I also remember Jack Black and Lizzo being in
oh
The
yeah,
Mandalorian.
jeez, fuck, dude,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's horrible. Yeah,
So
there's parts, right, where it's a kids show, because that's like only kids are gonna understand that. But I'm gonna see if I can find that scene just to play it in the background. Yeah. Oh yeah, literally, it's Princess Leia chase. Yeah. Um, there are scenes that you understand are about children. You have this child actress that comes on. She's got to be like 10, 8, 9 years old maybe, and she's being chased by, of course, fucking the dude from Red Hot Chili Peppers. This fucking, I forgot the fucking Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. Um, and they're gonna do like a whole chase scenario, and a 9-year-old kid running from two adults who apparently can't catch her. When you're watching this, you're kind of like, okay, it's a kid's show. Like, there's no way that two adults have this much trouble. Like, oh man, I can't go under that tree. You know what I mean? Do you remember this?
no, but I mean, I'm watching it, so I'm like, see, this is just another reason why I did not like fucking Obi-Wan.
Like,
Oh
okay,
yeah,
there
and
you
then
go. You got a
yeah,
guy
and then
get
he gets
shot. There we
murdered.
go. We're back to like, oh fuck, it's a TV show. But that whole scene, look at it. Look at that dude. This dude's been, they're chasing this little girl, and look, he gets right up in front of her. Could have grabbed her, but they're like, let's circle her. And okay, let's put her in a bag. Like, it just goes back to child kidnapping, right? Um, but you watch this scene and you instantly go back to the idea of like, okay, yeah, it's a kid show. Because that was just like a corny chase scene. It wouldn't be like a realistic or like at all like a high stakes TV show. That's what I felt watching that part of the Skeleton Crew film. When I was watching it, I was like, oh, okay. Like, it's again, it's a kid's film. This will probably be something that kids can get away with writing and stuff like that. Um, but I will say that I have casually been enjoying Skeleton Crew. It's a good show. It's fun. You can watch it with your children. It's not like a bad show. It doesn't have like a lot of like evils to it. Very much like the Goonies. In a rating sense, I would probably give it like a high 6, going into a 7. But I think it's going to be like an easy forgettable series. Easy forgettable series. I guess that's the easiest way to put it.
You know what, dude? And like, I kind of hate to say it, is that that's what Dune Prophecy ended up kind of being for me.
Oh, that's right. You were watching the series, right?
Yeah, dude, I still haven't even finished it.
It just
Like,
did you kind of like lose kind of interest in it or what?
it's not that I lost interest in it, man. It's just that like for me, I'm watching it and I'm kind of just like, okay, okay, this is cool. This is cool. Like the effects are really fun or like really cool.
Well
There's a
thought out.
lot of, like yeah, like it's not a bad show, but then I look at it and like I feel like this is a show that's geared towards people who are only Dune fans.
Oof.
Yeah,
That could be rough.
yeah, man, because like, all right, so I'm gonna spoil a couple of things, right? Like in Dune Prophecy, the very very first episode, uh, there's three or four major events that happens, or yeah, like events in the episode that happen that you're like, unless you're a Dune fan, you're not gonna see the significance in, like, at all. And one of the first ones is they talk about no thinking machines, right? No
Mhm.
thinking machines, no AI,
The
right?
AI.
And and like nothing like that. And the reason being is because like I think it was like, if I remember correctly, I think it was like 100 years prior to those events. The something that was called the Butlerian Jihad had taken
Hmm.
place, which was basically the, think of like Cyberdyne except galactic in scale, and the humans won.
Okay. Oh
And
shit.
then they just decided no AI.
At
We're
all.
not fucking doing it. The last time we had AI, this shit happened. No. And during that jihad, the Harkonnen family ended up pulling out of a major battle, and the Atreides picked up their slack. And when that happened, they were like, "Hey, what happened?" The Atreides family, like the patriarch of the Atreides family, was like, "Oh, well, the Harkonnens like fucking dip, dude. So like this guy's a bitch." And so like the Harkonnens were kind of expelled from like prestige,
Yeah, I
and
was gonna say the
that
royalty stuff.
yeah, and that's a huge focal point, if not like the biggest focal point for Doom Prophecy, because it all kind of stems from why the Harkonnens are looked at so negatively in the like in the galaxy as they are right now. They
Mhm.
will be later on. Obviously this is 10,000 years before the events of Paul Atreides and Dune and stuff like that.
Yeah. All the
Uh,
small the film part, right?
yeah. Another really, really big one is uh, the Bene Gesserit. They are not established yet. They are still just considered just the sisterhood. Uh, so you get to see the precursor to like, okay, this is how we're gonna make the Kwisatz Haderach, like fucking space Jesus, basically. And like you'll get to see the origin of that particular story. And the third one to me is like, if not the most significant one, is the introduction of a Gola. But you don't get that as a definitive thing immediately,
Okay.
because uh what a Gola is in the universe, sorry, in that verse, is a person who has died and been cloned with only a select few amount of memories of the previous life. If they can figure out how they died, then supposedly like all of their memories are unlocked.
Oh, that's crazy, man. That's
uh
crazy. So the show does the show really touch base on all this stuff?
yeah, because like so Travis Flemmel's character, he's a Gola. He's like, oh yeah, like I was in Arrakis, and like my entire unit died. My
Mhm.
entire unit died. But all you need is one cell of like skin or hair or something from the original owner, and you can copy them essentially,
Mhm.
and you can make them a Gola. And all that was left of Travis Flimmel's like being was an eyeball. He was eaten by a sandworm.
Oh, so he's just like just that
He's a
eyeball. That's all
clone.
that's left.
Yeah. So and then they clone him from the eyeball,
Oh shit.
and because of that, he's immune to the voice from the Bene Gesserit. and
Oh, okay.
so and so that was like another thing, like the voice doesn't work on him, because like
Mhm.
there's one part where like Valia, she's just like, take out your knife and slit your throat, sorry, and cut your throat. And so he takes out the knife, and like he realizes that he's doing it, and like you see the fear in his eyes, and he brings it to his throat, and then he stops, and he's just like, just kidding. Like, and he was like, yeah, I really just wanted to see what your greatest fear would be. And he was like, and it's not that like you would lose favor with the Lance Rat. It's just that no one would care if you did. And
Oh,
like,
shit.
boom, like fucking huge thing. So, like I said, I think that it's really, really geared towards like Dune fans, but I think it's overly geared towards Dune fans.
Yeah, yeah, that could be the thing that I'm feeling right now with this the skeleton crew thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little too much.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's not even like, oh, I'm not the target audience, because I am, but I'm the only target audience.
yeah, you're real isolated. You're like, I get it,
Yeah.
I like this, but I feel like I'm by myself because you can't have
Yeah.
a conversation about it. Like every time I try to talk to someone about Skeleton Crew, they're like, "Bro, why are you watching that? You're like an adult." And I'm like, "Well, it's Star Wars. Like, I get it, but like, I want to see what it's all about.
Dude,
I want to see like,
you know what I am like with that, but only because it's super underground. Like, I mean, I say underground, but like just not well known. And it's an anime on Netflix,
Mhm.
but like no one watches it. Is Kengan Ashura.
oh
That's a
yeah,
fucking amazing series, dude.
yeah. It's
And
because
like
it
and like
courses to like
finding
the dudes.
anybody who knows about it, to me, we're like if I find out that somebody knows about Kengan Ashura, we're immediately best friends, dude.
Yeah, yeah. You're instantly like, dude, I'm inviting you to my parents' house. Like, we're
Yeah, dude.
cool.
Like, you want to meet my dogs?
Yeah, let's go get
Sort of shit.
coffee. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I get that. I 100% get that. Well, yeah, like I said, like Skeleton Crew, it's been all right. This episode was a little bit weird. I feel like it was very short, also, and I don't know how many episodes. I want to say there's like 2 more episodes left, but charming, very Goonies like. It has that vibe. All the kids are really nice and fun and easy to get along with and relatable, and it's cool. Jude Law does an amazing job. The other characters that are around the show are just like you said. They're very Star Warsy. Like you're gonna see these characters in the Tauntaun bar, the bum 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 bum
Yeah.
bum bum. Every character is there. Every person in the background is in
Dude,
this
and I
show.
still think that Fredward had the best idea.
Oh
Of
yeah, yeah,
this.
bringing the
Yeah.
band back.
Yeah,
Bringing
but
the
like just watching their like rise and fall and how they ended up at the
fucking
fucking.
big cokeheads and just
Yeah.
druggies and that's their first gig back when they fucking run
Yeah.
into Obi
Yeah,
and
that's their return tour.
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Guy gets his fucking hand cut off and shit, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we're done. Yeah, we're done. We're just gonna quit or whatever." Yeah, that's fucking funny.
We had a good run, boys.
We're done. Um, yeah, it's a pretty fun show. Like I said, 6.5, 7. Good for kids, fun for adults, something to just kind of put in the background. Skeleton Crew. This last episode was kind of but it still has its kid charm. So for children, I think it's really worth
That's also kind of what pisses me off, dude. Is I feel like that's the best description that I could give Dune Prophecy. It's great background noise.
hmm Yeah, it just there's something about it that it just doesn't have. It's like
The gravitas
the
behind it. Yeah.
gravitas. Yeah, that's what I feel. So yeah, guys, if you checked out Skeleton Crew, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comment section. Driggs, what do you got coming on this week, man? You got anything crazy?
Not really, man. I think I mentioned it. I think last week or a
Mhm.
week before, something like that. I moved again. Why are we surprised, right? Why are we surprised? I moved again. I live in a big ass house. I have a lot of doggies and they
Mhm.
require a big house, and that's what me and my wife gave them. A
That's
big
crazy.
fucking house. Uh my doggies are doggying, and they are happy, they are content, they can bark as loud as they want and no one fucks with us. uh I have my own office. I am not in there yet because I have been way too fucking tired and busy to set it up. uh but I will possibly try and do some of that tonight and the next couple of days.
Mhm.
uh I'm constantly working, guys. If you all ever want to find me in real life, I work at the Nowhere Lounge in McAllen off of Ware Road.
No way.
It is a part of the Elite Poker Lounge, and I am one of the bartenders there. Uh, come get at me if you ever want a craft cocktail. I make a lot of them at home as
Mhm.
well. Dude. I even have my own little home bar.
Nice, dude. I like that.
Yeah, dude. I got my
I like
own
that.
little home bar. You know,
Good stuff.
but yeah, dude. So fucking work with some cool stuff,
It's a lot of that's a lot of drinking you could be doing watching a What If, dude.
brother. If I'm drinking and I'm watching What If, I'm drinking to forget What If.
Yeah, drinking to do coke.
Yeah, dude. I'm trying to make bad decisions if I'm doing that shit.
Yeah. Alrighty, folks. Well, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in on the show with us this week. We appreciate every one of you. We hope you guys got to issue in the new year great, safe, good, away from cyber trucks apparently, and just being good. That was some crazy stuff that happened right first 2025 popping off real quick, right, Triggs?
Yeah, dude, and the fact that he's an operator too
Yeah.
just makes it
Did you get
super
to
shitty.
by chance? Did you get to see like that he was like on a TV show and he was friends with Tim Kennedy, and there's like even theories that this guy like had shot himself like in the truck like minutes before he was even there. Like he let the car like drive him there.
Yeah,
That's
I've
crazy,
heard
dude.
about that. Is that, but there's also a lot of people like because apparently somebody whom that guy contacted
Mhm.
went on the Sean Ryan show, and so for the people who aren't aware, Sean
The
Ryan is
email,
a
the email.
Sean Ryan is a former Navy SEAL and CIA contractor, and he had this guy on that supposedly like this gentleman emailed him and like essentially sent him his manifesto and just told him that like, dude, there's some bad shit going on and like we need to be aware of it. And then I don't know, like I hate America or whatever.
Yeah, no. I saw that thing when the guy was reading off the emails and talking about some like
But
gravity
then there's
devices
also
and drones.
people who are like saying that like, well, like there are people who are like, I do like this, right? And I kind of have to give it up to these people because like I'm really looking at it from both sides and I'm trying to be as objective about it as possible.
Mhm.
Because Sean Ryan has not been the best people, has not been the best with vetting some of his uh
Emotions and stuff.
no, with the people that he brings onto his show.
Okay.
And okay, so like what like Billy Carson. He had Billy Carson on his show, right?
Okay.
And so for the people who don't know who Billy Carson is, he's like a huge conspiracy, like religious conspiracy theorist,
Mhm.
right? And just fucking loves to shit all over the Bible. Nothing wrong
Oh
with
wow.
that, whatever, dude. Like you're more than like people are more than welcome to speak their piece, right?
That the one that talks about there being like stuff before the Bible and like
Yeah,
Sumerian.
yeah, then
I think I
like the
remember. I think I remember
Anunnaki,
talking
and
about that.
like how Jesus wasn't crucified as like in accordance to these passages that are supposed to be older than the Bible. Then
Yeah, yeah,
then Billy Carson had a debate with a known theologian, and like this guy just rips him apart. It is
yeah.
so funny, and like brings on like cites real things, cites like everything that he's doing, like has a really like peaceful debate, and then Billy Carson immediately hits him with the C&D and is just like, nope, I'm
Whoa, for
suing.
reals?
Yeah, dude.
Damn. So he hit him with a cease and desist after he released the video.
Yeah, well, like, no. So, like, Billy Carson went, like, had a debate with a
Mhm.
known, like, theologian, like, someone who, like, studies the Bible, right, and studies religion, and
Mhm.
so, like, he's basically like having this debate with this guy, and then, and then as the debate ends, and he's gonna release the debate, Billy Carson comes out and he's like, "No, if you release the debate, then like I'm gonna sue." And so
I'm
he
gonna
was just
sue.
like, "All right, bet."
They're like,
And then
bro,
he
we told you
released
we were
it
gonna
anyway.
sue. Yeah, they're like, we told you we were gonna put this out. You
Yeah,
agreed to this, and he's like, not today, motherfuckers.
yeah. So,
Wow, that's crazy, dude.
yeah, dude, he's just being made fun of so fucking hard right now. It's so funny,
Oh, that's crazy. That's fucking crazy. I didn't even know about that. I should try to see if I can find it. That'd be fucking interesting to
dude.
watch.
It's yeah. Just look up. Was
Ben
it Wes
Carson debate.
Huff? Yeah, Wes Huff, Billy Carson debate, and boom, the entire like 2.5 hour debate is there.
Yeah, I need to check it out. Cool. Well, Triggs, man, it's always a pleasure. I know you're a busy guy.
Of
Thank
course,
you for
bro.
coming. Brian, we were kind of hoping Brian was going to make it, but he had an emergency last minute. Brian, we love you, dude. We hope you're doing okay and everything's all right. Yeah, man. And onwards, we're first weekend 2025. And yeah, we hope everybody's doing fine. We hope you're doing great. Welcome back to another great season of the Average Boys podcast. We're going to try to
Right.
bring you as much content as we can. And yeah, man, we're going to do good for you guys. So we appreciate every one of you. We thank you very much to all our extraordinary listeners. have a good week. Go out there and do good. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Be careful. There's a lot of flus and shit going around. And yeah, you guys hope you have a great week and kick butt. We'll see you guys again here next Sunday on the Average Boys Podcast. Peace.